guys can hear me. I thought I was muted. That's so embarrassing. Hi, everyone. That's so embarrassing. So we're here. I'm a little cold because the AC is on, but that's all right. You know, that's all right. So if you, he's busy. Anyway, make sure I'm on mute for all these other.
The fact that is there no delay like that?
This is on the internet.
Look at me act like I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
We are here.
Yeah, we're here. Hi guys.
We are. Let me share.
Just waiting for everyone to come on in the room. Oh, okay.
We are here.
So we're talking about. Did you see what Tyler Perry said?
No, but
about black women.
I did see someone say that Tyler Perry just wants all the men himself. So I don't know what he said, but I did see that.
Oh my! And we're also going to talk a little bit about Jeezy divorce. So we're going to give ourselves about 20 minutes. Oh, I'm like, we've been live for 2 hours and 46. Okay, no, we've been live for a lot less time than that. Oh Lord.
What do you need? I can grab it, pass it to you.
It's in my side pocket on my back.
I don't have a notification. Oh, I do have a notification.
Officer said, "What?" I'm just gonna get up and get it. Yeah, see how sexy.
Hello. Feel like a celebrity is here with me.
I'm missing the phone. Where's my
Missing the phone.
Nope, found it.
Found the phone's found.
But anyway, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Oh, all right.
Phone is found.
She's here. Okay, there's one person. I see her. Hi, I see you, girl. I'm gonna add you. I can just see your neck though, but I'm gonna add you. Do y'all see this stuff on y'all?
Heck no, this is crazy to see this. I just this is really crazy to see this side of things.
As soon as she comes back in, I'll bring. Oh, there she is. Pop.
I can't find her on your page tonight.
You're gonna have to go to First Time Live. She found it. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me? Okay, yeah.
Barely. I think because the AC is right here in my ear.
The better question is, can you hear the AC?
No.
Is that as loud as your computer goes?
You were being real nosy right now. My goodness. I can hear.
Can't.
Who said hey? Hey.
What's
Who is that?
Danielle, click on here, girl. Get on here. We're talking about Danielle. D. I call her D. So okay, so we're gonna just get into it because I'm gonna try to keep these lives under or at the 2 hour mark, 2 hour 30 minutes at the most, because we be vibing all night, you all, and you know some people, you know, we gotta go to work, you know what I'm saying? And I be pretending like I'm gonna go to the gym. So we're gonna talk about Jeezy first. You know who Jeezy is. So I remember when he first got engaged to Jenny Mine, and how he was talking about how they had these great their first conversation was so good. I'm going to get all jazzed up. That first conversation was so good. I'm bringing you on, and
Hey. I'm gonna call you to see if you go to me.
Yeah. I'm this on here.
Y'all didn't. I came in. I popped in. Y'all didn't give me a celebratory. Hey, it's okay. Wow.
Hey,
Brent. I'm already hurt. So actually, Lolita and I were talking about how he was talking about how we're talking about Jeezy and his divorce.
Okay.
And talking about how they talked for hours and it was the best conversation he ever had in his life, and he just couldn't get enough of it. That could be true. And now they're getting divorced.
That could be true, though. All those things.
I guess that conversation wasn't that good.
All those things could still be true, and you could still be getting a divorce. That's
y'all thoughts on his divorce, pending divorce. He filed for divorce too, by the way.
And why was that?
There's claims that she committed infidelity. What I read, but I think black women are just happy because they didn't want him with the Asian lady in the first place.
I think black women. I think we don't care.
I was upset when I found out. I ain't even gonna hold you.
But I think your reasoning for it was good though.
What was the reason?
What was my reasoning? You remember that, Brad? That was so long ago.
Because she didn't want a baby, and he had one with what I was one of the reasons you said that was messed up. But he had you talking about why they got you were upset that they had a divorce or because
they got married.
Oh, you were
married.
You weren't bothered that they got married. You were bothered that he was talking about how they had such great conversation. And you said, did he give black women that opportunity to have that conversation with him? Did he give black women that time to spend on the phone with him? Or was he like just in and out?
Wait, what?
Well, no, this why I was upset because I felt like he painted a picture of what type of woman he wanted, and that wasn't it. And I felt like had he painted that picture,
you mean Jenny Mai, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeezy painted a picture of what type of woman that he was attracted to and that he wanted based on his like rap lyrics. Because I don't know the guy. So when he got with Jeannie Mai, it was like, that's not what I envisioned in my head. So had he expressed that he likes this type of woman, I think black women that carry themselves in that way would have been more bold and you know, wanting to approach him, ready to approach him because like, okay, so he likes me.
But don't black rappers do the same thing? Jay-Z sung the song I Got Hoes in Different Area Codes, and then he goes and marries Beyonce. Beyonce wasn't a hoe. I mean, I think Lil Wayne is a prime example as well. Keisha got a baby. He talks about never running his clique, running through Keisha and yada yada yada. But when they settle down with women that are completely different than that. I don't think that has anything to do with race. I think that's just a terrible thing about black men. Period. Once they get wealthy, the women that they encourage are not the women that they date.
I don't think it's necessarily about race. I'm more talking about like the type of woman that he you know, projected, said that he liked, and just based off of rap lyrics. Again, I don't know him, but and I think had we known that, we would have. Anyway,
we would have moved accordingly.
Love who you want to love. I don't care. I'm just saying, like I was upset because I loves me some Jeezy. When he stopped messing with Keisha Cole because she talked too much, I said, "Oh, he sound like my kind of dude."
Feel like I don't care either way.
I didn't even know Jeezy was talking to Keisha Cole. I mean, I just found out who Jeezy was maybe 6 months ago.
Did you see Lolita's next snap?
How is that even possible?
Right. I just a guy that I know introduced me to one of his songs, and then I like one of his songs, and now I like maybe like 4 of his songs. And then
you gotta stop listening to the early 90s.
Maybe it was a year ago, but it's been a year or less that I just know who Jeezy is. I didn't know who Jeezy was.
Well,
all the dope boys go crazy. I watch the dope boys go crazy.
Never heard that song.
Okay. When you play that new Jeezy, all the dope boys go crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not. Anyway,
I'm safe.
I don't really. Okay. That's the problem we got. You say y'all ain't been saying the whole lot. Anyway, so meet me at therapy is going down. When?
He saw Meet Me at the Mall is going down.
No, that's Young Jock. That's Young Jock. I don't know what you see who left that comment. Click on and come on. Ebony said, "Oh, this is funny." Ebony talking about she did say this on one of her shows. She said she likes white men, but she like it. Well, but it sounds like she said she prefers white men, but like dark meat on the side.
Now she's on the sideline thinking about why she signed that prenup.
Yeah, he was talking about how that prenup is ironclad.
Yeah. He got a prenup, or she got a prenup.
He got a prenup.
Airtight prenup.
Well, she's worth $4 million, so she's not hurting for money.
But she has a baby, so she can get child support.
No. He's filing for joint custody.
Right.
And good for him.
Yeah.
Right. Good for him.
And $4 million is not a lot when you've been living like you're worth 40 million,
right?
Or 40 million. Yeah. it goes quick when you go to.
I would love to try and see.
Hello.
I would want to try that.
And plus,
Get 'em.
being worth 44 million means what exactly? That means you have land in your net, you have land, you have a house. Like it's not cash. You got to
He's worth
liquidate
10.
some stuff.
He's worth 10. So
Well, he gonna be worth 10, and she's still gonna be worth 4 at the end because
Right.
he talking that prenup is he ain't worried about a thing. He ain't worried about not Jazzy.
I think it's sad that she
And because
allowed herself
that
to have a
prenup
child.
is he ain't worried about it. You gotta mute your whatever you watching, Ash. Sure.
Allow herself
That
to have a
prenup
child.
is he ain't worried about it. Okay, so anybody else got anything else to say about Jeezy?
I wish them the best. Hope they work it out.
yes, me
For
too.
life.
When you say working out, you mean the divorce, or you mean they're
They
married?
married.
Yeah.
Like why
Well,
marry to get divorced? That's ridiculous.
Why
Try
would
to
you-
work it out. I don't know what's really going on, but try to stick it at.
Oh, you muted yourself. Okay. Well, let's move on to Tyler Perry. Y'all heard what Tyler Perry said?
I had to look it up.
What?
She said I had to look
Somebody
it
bring me my.
up.
Sorry.
She's a delicate flower.
Very delicate.
And she yells again. You want to tell her? Can you tell us what it was about?
Me?
Yeah, what Tyler Perry said, basically. Oh, JR, you need to come on here. You need to click the link and get on here because this is a good. Anyway.
Yeah, JR, whoever that is.
Go ahead. He's the guy who works in DC.
Gerard over there look like he eating crab legs. What?
That's a lie, right?
Are you
Lie
eating
that away.
Thank you.
He not eating no.
We're done with that.
He one of Ashley's favorite foods.
What?
Indian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It
about
went really wow.
that. I didn't
He
know
in what?
Indian food.
I like Indian food.
Brandy's out there.
Sure was. And got my tikka masala. Okay, so look on Lolita, if you would tell us, if you would give us a overview of what Mr. Perry said.
So he was saying how Black women make much more than a Black man. So if you're in a relationship and you're in love and he's providing whatever he provided, he had a list of things that the guy was providing, then a Black woman should possibly be okay or should be okay with paying all the bills and giving him the light bill. So the mortgage, the water bill, the food, and just give him the light bill because that's what he can do. But he's in every other department, he's 100%.
I seen a lady say Tyler Perry said that because he want all the Black men to himself.
Oh.
So
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. If a woman found herself in this situation, because for me, it wouldn't even got that far. But she went
Right.
that far as to
You right.
be in a relationship with this man, and he's providing everything outside of finances, and she want to try to make this work, then I don't see any problem with it. It's her decision.
but would you do it?
It wouldn't have gotten that far with me. It wouldn't have gotten that far. We wouldn't have fell in love.
But how would you know that? But how do you vet that before you get to that point though? Like if he's not spending on you early on, or if he's not paying a bill early on, that's when you can vet that if he's able to pay the bills or not.
You could tell if somebody has a good job. If you're around them, you could tell if they have money or if they're going to work. If you're available between certain hours and you're consistently available, then that's a red flag unless you own your own business.
But I think for me, I think what if he is going to work? I don't think Tyler Perry's statement was talking about a woman being with a bum. If you make a certain amount more than him and you can provide a lifestyle that he cannot provide, does a woman live with a guy who's faithful, who's loving, who's kind, who speaks to her inner woman, but he can only afford an apartment. Great guy, but she makes enough to where they can live in a 5-bedroom. I think that's what that statement means. A woman should be okay with if his portion on a home is $700-800 a month for a light bill, let's say, because you got to think Atlanta. A lot of these women are more educated. They have degrees. That there's no secret that Black women are outpacing Black men in education, degrees, and six-figure earners. That's no secret. I think that unless women go back to making less because they're women, that's a huge problem for the Black man. There's a book that was written by a guy in England who literally said, at this rate, there won't be a benefit for a man to get married because a woman is outpacing him in the marketplace. So what is that man supposed to do?
I think that man, he has to hit on every cylinder. Like he has to be 100% in everything else, like meeting every need in order for that to work out. Like I think I could do it, but you just have to really, like you just really have to get it together or have everything else together. Your talk game, your protection, everything else has to just be really on point.
I think that's kind of hypocritical, and I agree with you. But I think it's kind of hypocritical for a woman not to agree.
Not to what?
Not to agree with Tyler Perry. I think it's hypocritical in this sense. Women, the argument for alimony and the argument for a woman's value to a man who has worked all these years, she held him down. She brought out the best in him. She really built him. 11 years I sacrificed. And besides the kids, I have nothing to show. If you're in a situation where a man has provided those things as well and allowed you to thrive, even though our culture norms are against it, you have to admit that that is just as valuable to build a woman than it is to build a man, right or wrong.
Say that again in a different way.
A man's value to building a woman and holding down the home that allows her to thrive, that's not as valuable as a woman doing it for a man.
I don't think it's as valuable because of the mindset that comes behind each one. If you're a woman doing it for a man, that's the place, that's the right placement. But a man doing it for a woman, like I have a friend and he's thinking about moving back to where his girlfriend is, and he's going to give up his house and this and other. And I'm like, in her, like, I think that puts you at a lower level as a man, because a part of being quote unquote a man is being that provider. So even though you're talking her up, which is a great thing, I would love somebody to do that for me, it still doesn't equate to you bringing in funds unless you join the team. Like, unless you like, hey, I want to start working with Ash in photography and make this thing grow. Mm-hmm. And that's different for me versus just talking me up, saying, you got this, babe, you got it. You're making all that money, you got it. Yay. I am doing that, you're right. But if you join a team and you start doing sweat equity or managing a certain department or whatever, then I'm like, okay, I think that's a game changer.
I just feel like if you want to be the lead of something, if you want that position, if you want to be the head of something, I don't see how you can do it just paying a light bill and skirting along.
Tabitha Brown.
Take the mortgage.
Tabitha Brown becomes a multimillionaire as a content creator. Mm-hmm. Her husband was a police officer. Mm-hmm.
Well, he was
capped at being a police. You're not going on a police squad and making $100,000 a year. Her fame put her in a different tax bracket. She retired her husband. You all sound like Wendy Williams when Wendy Williams called her crazy.
That's different.
Hold on, wait. She retired her husband because literally she was at a place that he couldn't meet. Was she supposed to stay in the humble home
That's not
that
the
you
same.
provide
It's
as a
not the
police
same.
officer.
That's not what we're
That's
saying.
not the same. He had a job.
You can't
He
compare
was
that.
holding it down.
Right.
She went on Ellen. She blew up, and he still played his role as the husband. And he's on a lot of the videos with her. He's not just in the behind the scenes saying, "Yeah, babe, I'm
Massage
not
and
working no
shoulders.
more.
Right.
That's not what Tyler
I'm
Perry
gonna
was
get that knot out your back because I know I saw you did 10 videos a day." But no, I'm gonna hold up the camera. I got the lighting, babe. You got this. That's different. He's
Y'all are
on
moving the
team.
goalposts.
And he didn't
Are
really
we?
not retire.
Y'all are moving the goalposts. Tyler Perry was not talking about a bum. We're not. I almost pushed you just.
He can only pay the light bill. He can only pay the light bill.
That's bum energy.
That's not a bum.
Bum energy.
I'm sorry. That's
Police
not
officer, he
bum.
could pay the mortgage.
That's what I say. Pay the mortgage. I take care of the light and water.
Right, but
And
again,
food.
what my point is, let's say this mortgage is a $3,000-$4,000 mortgage. We're talking about Atlanta. Tyler Perry was not talking about average people. He wasn't talking about people with $600 light bills. I don't believe.
He was talking about black women. So he
He
wasn't.
didn't- that's my issue. He didn't say nothing about women. He said black women should.
He didn't say black women in Atlanta.
in a certain tax bracket. He
women.
said black women.
Right. He didn't say black women in Atlanta.
Right, but
And I think that this is something, this narrative is going around because I've been seeing a lot of black men saying stuff like that, and I think it's trying to condition us to say, "Oh yes, I have a good guy, and I'm going to pay the bills, and I'm going to do that." That
To live in a
message
scarcity mindset.
is very dangerous, especially to black women who don't know better. Because I don't care who's saying it, Tyler Perry, Oprah, whoever. I'm not doing that. And I'm not raising my children to do that because that's crazy. I think it's giving black men an excuse not to work hard.
Hello.
Giving black
Not
women
to provide.
an excuse to keep loving on somebody that ain't trying to do nothing with
you
their life.
mentioned Oprah. Oprah's been happy with Stedman 30 years. He's never been in a tax bracket. Matter of fact, Oprah's shoes are worth more than Stedman's whole life right now. Literally, her shoe collection is worth more than his whole life. Do you
But
think
Oprah is not every woman.
Oprah and Stedman has a job.
Wasn't Oprah talking to Stedman before she became famous?
No.
Exactly.
No,
and he got a job.
Had a good job.
right?
Exactly.
My point is, if a black woman is educated and her husband is a hardworking garbage man,
They make good money.
and or a hardworking whatever,
He could make the mortgage payment.
I think the root of the issue is this. Instead of us constantly focusing on what black women should do, I think we should focus on what black men should do. If black women are in this position, rise, black men.
hold on, wait, you don't think? Let me ask you this.
Right. What you were saying.
Rise to meet us, or I mean, not me, but to meet those black women. And also, black women, raise your sons so that they will be a beneficial member of a family, of their family. They're the head of their family. Like, we can't be coddling our black boys. We can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to raise them to be men.
Mm-hmm.
In the right perspective, because it also saying that you're a man when you're 4, that's not proper rearing, because now you think you've arrived, but you haven't paid a bill. But mama been telling me I'm a man all my life. Even though I do call my nephew the king.
You mean
number 1.
right? But you mean when they call him the man of the house, when they say that they're the man of the house, that's what you're referring to?
Correct, because you're not the man of the house.
Right.
You're the only male in the house.
Right.
But you're not the man of the house. Because
You're
you're not
still say, hey man, but not say you're the man of the house. You need to make sure you don't put that responsibility on the child.
right. And that's false advertising. You're teaching him that he's a man. He hasn't done any manly qualities.
I feel like the main issue for me is that he specified black women and not women, period.
Because
That's
everybody expects,
like, okay, if you're doing a general statement of women should, but you're basically putting the onus on just for black women to accept men that probably shouldn't even be in relationships, because you can't afford a mortgage, my guy. So that's where my issue is.
My
Only
thing
black
is
or
my
that,
thing is
not
they
white.
always. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said my thing is they always expect for black women to operate with a scarcity mindset. Every single one of these podcasts and every single one of these people are always telling black women that we are supposed to settle. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that's fair. You're not asking anybody else to do that.
They're
You're asking
basically
every
telling
other
us we
woman
have
to date high value men and do this and do. But black women,
to.
you're supposed to build a bear.
Dr. Jackson, I don't know if you're doing your voice like that this week to get extra sympathy, but whatever you said just then, I didn't even hear most of it, but I believe you're right. I believe you're absolutely right. And I see you, black woman.
And I think we're not only taught to accept scarcity and to build him, but also build yourself. Don't look for anyone to help you emotionally, mentally, physically.
Mhm.
Do it yourself. You got it. But then take care of your man, because if he leaves you, it's your fault. It was your black woman attitude that did it. Like it's a lot of pressure. Well, not to me, but it's a lot on a black woman, and the messaging all across the board to us is ridiculous. But I'm
It is.
not doing it. If all you can pay is a light bill, go home to your mom's house because she'll accept that. You can live here, just pay one bill and pay the light bill there while you build up, and then come back out into the real world.
I think the saddest part about these conversations is that by and large, money has separated a people who need more than anything to be unified. And I say that because I think if we get back to joint accounts, it ain't no my money, his money. If you're doing your career, what makes you happy, and it brings in $30,000 a month, and I'm doing what makes me happy, and it brings in three, I don't think we should separate. I think we got $33,000. Let's pay whatever bills, and as long as you're faithful and you're trusting and you're loving to one another, I don't think the rest of it matters.
It's not money that separates us. It's society.
Yeah, well,
It's
that could be true.
it
Black women are conditioned. Like, let me tell you the plight of a black man. If you look, most black women learn how it is to rent and to pay bills and to have their own with support, if not from family, from the government. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. How many black men do any of you black women know that's applied for Section 8, food stamps, or any of these things as a single black man and is using it today?
using
I
the
help. I help someone.
Huh?
I help the man that's raising two. That he's raising his daughters on his own.
That doesn't count
He
because you just
applied.
said you helped.
Because he don't know how to do it.
That's my point. My point is,
But that no, wait. That's not. Wait a minute. If that is your point, then that's sad. If you feel like black men can't fill out an application, I helped him because he didn't know that was available to him.
you're
I didn't
still proving my point.
know. I didn't fill out the application for him. I didn't do any of those things. I said, you can get food stamps because you're raising these girls by yourself. And I'm like, there's assistance for you. If the answer, if your thing is, oh, we don't know how to fill out application, then that's on you. Then
No. You missed my point. You literally what you described was a paradigm that you had that he did not have. This is a mental
Because he's saying that he didn't have the knowledge that it was even available to him.
1000%. That's not even something that black men think about. But
It is because I know several. When I was in college, I knew several who had stamps before I
Me
did.
too.
And why
And I
are we
was
talking about
jealous as
government
hell.
assistance? Why is that even a thing? Let's get off of government assistance.
no,
Just
my point.
get it together.
My point was the black woman from Willie Lynch days up until now. Literally, the system was remove the black male slave, control the black female slave and children on the land. That's the Willie Lynch theory in a nutshell. It now has grown to the exact same thing with mass incarceration, things of that nature, and caused the black woman to be dependent on the government with entitlement programs. Most black men don't have those experiences. And even the ones that are successful, mind matters. And I think that it makes me sad that if a black man is doing all he can do, and a black woman still is in a greater place than him, that black man could be made to feel like he's less than. I'm not saying he should be a bum. I'm not saying he should pay just the light bill, but I'm saying that right now, if a black man has to look for someone with his socioeconomic status to seriously date, there are a lot of black men who are going to continue to leave and cheat on good women for $40 hollers because they don't come with the expectations that a woman who makes a certain amount does. And that's why a lot of educated, well-paid women are single. Y'all got to come down. And I said it on this part. Y'all got to come.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, go.
Most women don't really have really exponentially high standards. We just want you to be able to adult on your own. That's really what we want. We want somebody who can at least take care of themselves so that they don't become a liability for me.
Right.
That's all we want, honestly.
And I think your example, your Willie Lynch example, the thing is that we were all, not we, myself, but black people were all there. And I feel like black women, if you're saying they've risen to a certain status, is because of hard work. Like
right.
they said within themselves, you know what, my counterpart is doing this, and I want to be on that level. Even and I feel like that's a bigger, like that mindset to say I want to be there, but I have to work twice as hard to get there, and then we got there. I don't have I think that there's no excuse for the black men. Yes, they're getting arrested, so are black women and things like that. But we're not talking about what Tyler Perry is talking about a certain group. Not a certain group, but he's saying light bill. Like, I think we got to really focus on that. He's saying black women should pay everything but the light bill. That is ridiculous.
And that's it.
I think that's no matter how much you're making, no matter if you're a 6-figure earner or a 5-figure, you barely hitting the fives. You got to pay everything else, and all he got to do is pay the light bill.
Because that's all he can
do. That brings in, like, to have to carry your household. That's a lot of stress. Your household is dependent on you, and he's paying a light bill. That's tough. And I think that black women are in the situation that they're in because we raise our girls differently than we raise our boys. Back to the Willie Lynch. We raise our girls to stand alone if necessary, and we call them boys. The end.
Oh, and I also think you had said, I'm sorry, I was going to cut you off.
I have more, but I don't want Swella to have to agree with me in front of all y'all because I believe she agrees with me.
We'll say it.
He ain't got nothing to say. And I also think that what was I gonna say? Oh, what did you just say, Lolita?
The way we raise our children.
We do Willie Lynch.
Light bill, stress.
I got something to say.
Well, go ahead, yeah, because I'm gonna figure it out.
But I want to say that a guy who can talk you up, be there for you, have your back emotionally, mentally, physically, that is a value. I don't want to say that that's not a value because that is a huge value. I can be a bigger Ashley with that kind of person in front of me. I just don't think just paying the light bill and that it equals, makes me want to be there. I mean, but I think it's valuable. It's very valuable. But I think and let me say this. I think it's the mindset of the man. If all you're doing is paying light bill and you're capped, like you're comfortable there, that'll be a problem. But if he's paying a light bill and he's trying to become more, then I think that also makes a difference.
So effort.
Right, the effort. Don't just be, I'm light billing it and you got the rest done, check. But be light bill. But in your mind, I want to get to the mortgage though. Like I want to pay the mortgage. I think that matters.
I think
right.
And then
I had
also
a
that
man.
thing is they're working. We're both working. I'm let's say I'm a six figure, you know what I'm saying? And he not. I gotta come home. I bet you that dinner not on the table. I bet you I still gotta do that. I still gotta take care of the kids. And all he doing is paying the light bill, the water bill. Let's get off the water bill. What are the electric the cable bill? That's $80.
I had a man ask me, even if whatever, regardless of what the question, what the context of the question was, he said, "What is your bare minimum requirements? Why is that the standard?
But
Why is that the bar that you're?"
did you answer that question? Did you walk away swiftly?
I said, "Why is?" I responded. I said, "Why is that the bar or the standard? Why is that what you're trying to obtain? Why is that what you're trying to achieve? The bare minimum."
What did he say?
He hasn't responded.
Oh, this was a message. This was a text message.
It was a text message.
Oh,
My head is about to pop over here.
That's what you gonna say?
And I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been a man working with a wife that did not work and paid all the bills. I've been a man struggling with a female that helped me more than I was able to help her.
Where's she at?
And I think that which one?
The one that helped you. Where's she at?
Right. She's gone now.
Mm.
So gone, so gone, so gone. But I
Used her too much.
right. I think that for me, and I get being a black woman is hard. I get that, sister. I hear you. I feel you. Being a black man, if you're not college educated, if you have a felony, it is not impossible to make it, but it is hard to make it. If I could tell you how many jobs I started on, made great money, and down the road, they said, you know what, your background came back and let me go home. You get tired of it. It literally will affect you mentally. And if I'm honest, I'm breaking out of it today. I think that it's tough, and I get you, sister. I get you, but I think that there is a reason that women have the ability to nature, and I agree with Ash or
Play ball.
play ball. How do you see this?
That says play ball.
How do you see these little words? But anyway, I think Ashley hit it on the head that he does owe this sister not just hope, but an actual way out. That if this is our now, it's not our next. I do concede that point. That he should be working on his next. But I think that if you happen to be with a man who you love, or maybe y'all got, there's a lot of women who get with a guy and y'all equal, and you just you have a mind shift sooner than he does, and you grow in ways that he hasn't grown. Should she walk off and leave him?
No, because he's paying a mortgage still.
And I think we have to. I think that there's so many things to that. First off, a college degree is not the ticket to success. Financial success. I think that
I want to get
we
my
have
back.
that mindset. Oh, he's not as educated as her. My dad doesn't have a college degree. His brothers don't have a college degree, but they're doing okay. That's not a reason that a person is capped, especially nowadays with all of everybody's an expert at everything.
Hello.
You know, everybody's a freaking subject matter expert. And then I think for people, because I don't have a background as far as a felony or anything like that. But I think that there are a lot of programs to help expunge certain records.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be with a felon, but I want to be with someone who is actively trying. You know, have you looked up the different program or different ways of expunging? You know, like make that effort and then come back and say, you know what, that case doesn't work for me. Like they're not going to do that for me. But don't say because I have this is the only level I'm going to get to. Start your own business.
I was going to get to that.
There's so many ways to navigate that reality,
That life. Mm-hmm.
I know so many felons that have their car wash, mobile car detailing business.
There they go.
Their
Black
lawn
man,
care
he
business.
got to be a detailer or his mom, or got his mama set up in a storefront cooking. That's
Or
it.
he could own a donut shop in New York that's doing amazingly, a vegan donut shop in New York that's actually doing amazingly.
Or he could be working on doing the credit repair like that one guy. He owns a whole credit, helping people get their credit together.
Y'all are
There's
living
so
on
many
the
different
fringes.
opportunities for
Y'all are
women.
living on the fringes. Entrepreneurship is not easy, and the average felon is not an entrepreneur. I think that if you're a violent offender who spent 4 or 5 years in prison, and you come home and you're just staying out of prison, I don't think that being a felon is a prerequisite for being an entrepreneur. I think there are a lot of felons who can become entrepreneurs. I think that there are a lot of, and I don't want to hijack the show tonight, even though I am in the co-host seat tonight. I think that these things are real, and it's tough. It's tough. I'm a black man that went to prison after a couple years in college, raised by a good family. This, that, and the other. I shudder to think if I was a black man from a single family home, just my mom, barely made it through school, didn't finish school. Do you know how many black men can't read, can't write? You talking about running a business and they can't read and can't write, and then the woman who can help them, she can't help them because she don't want to build a man. So where he gonna get help from?
You know,
Help it go.
I know a man who can read and write and who has a thriving business, who's doing really well for himself. I
That's the
personally know someone.
fringe, though. You can't live on the one-off stuff.
No, but the point is you can't live, and that's the problem. You should live in the one off. You should find one person and say, you know what, if he can do it, so can I. Instead of saying, you know
Failure is
what,
not an
the
option.
majority of us ain't doing it, so I'm just gonna be comfortable in the not, because that's the majority. And those people, the road less traveled, those are the ones. That's who you need to be trying to find, that road less traveled, the hard road. It might not be easy. So I feel like we have a lot of excuses, and I don't care what a lesson I've learned in the past 3 years. It's not even what you know; it's who you know.
Period.
Mhm.
Black people come back, like you said, they get out of jail, they go back home, and that's it. They sit right there instead of networking, talking to people, finding out. You might know something I don't know. I know something you don't know. And let's put the little bit we do know together and keep growing. Black people are so, I'm gonna stay in my little section. I'm not gonna help you. You're not gonna help me. If it could be somebody I don't talk to, but if I come across an opportunity that I know fits their lane, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna say, "Hey, I heard about this." That's we have. You got to get out of the
Or it's
cap.
like,
It sounds like you just have a cap mentality, like that. This is what I've been through, and this as far as I'm gonna go. And no,
and two things. You know you're getting out in a month. You know you're getting out in a month and a half. Why you not doing research on
Don't
what
do
you
that.
can do,
Don't
on
do
what
that.
you where you can work,
Don't
how
do
you
that.
can have. Don't tell me what not to do.
It ain't no internet in
And
it ain't no
two,
internet in prison.
plenty
Oh
books.
yeah, whatever.
And
All
then
these
two,
men have whole dating profiles in prison.
What?
and Tyler Perry isn't talking about the felon. Tyler Perry talking about regular men sitting there paying a light bill.
I agree.
But he definitely specified black women anyway, and it is at the 45 mark.
I
So
wouldn't let my son do it. If I want to say that if my son was saying, "Well, mom, all I'm paying is the light bill, and you pay everything else,"
what we talking like?
I would encourage her to let him go and to move on with her life, because and if he was okay with it, I think that's the problem. People are okay with it, and then they don't even build her up. They breaking her down on top of just paying a light bill,
I agree.
adding
Driving,
more stress.
driving her car and late to pick her up in her car. I
Don't
agree.
help with the children, not providing discipline.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So it's
I
safe
want
to
to be
say,
clear that I'm not talking about that man. I'm just talking about a man that's maybe in the spot at the moment.
so it's safe to say, no man is better than some man.
Sometimes, shoot.
Sometimes. Right.
Are you saying it's better to have no man to have a piece of man, Swallow?
Correct.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that ain't what grandma said. Grandma said, give me a piece of. And that's why a lot of women were okay with sharing a good man, because they understood that if this man is doing all these things,
Paying the bills.
paying the bills, doing this, If he just got to see Brenda on Friday, I got to see Brenda on Friday. Brenda, send him home, watch him up and send him home. They understood that, because that's the other flip side of that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, but it's also a truth. If you have all these women who are screaming, I ain't got no good man, and that one down there is an overachiever, and he decided that he wants more than enough, that's why a lot of good women are sleeping with other people, husbands and boyfriends too, because it ain't so many to go around.
Yep,
So
that's next week's topic.
You got
Isn't that crazy? That's next week's topic.
Oh, let me.
What is the name? What's the topic?
Next week's topic is the one I told you, Lita. My bad. It's good. Is a good man or woman worth fighting for?
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that that's the same thing, because we're in a different time.
Come on, Jasmine.
So you're saying you providing is not a need for me. And I thought about this the other day. If a guy, the need now is internal. It's mental. Is can you minister to the inside of me? Because I don't need your protection. I don't need your provision anymore. And I think that women are more likely to share a man who can meet their internal need over a man who's providing.
Mm-hmm.
But
you just paying the light bill.
I'm sorry?
I said, but he ain't just paying the light bill. You're gonna have to meet all them needs and pay them
right.
Or as I said a couple weeks ago, if you're an Arab prince,
I'm done.
We can share.
And I know a guy who I think is a great guy. He has it together financially, but he can't meet my internal need. And I had to say, this isn't working. So I think, I don't care how much you make. Sometimes that's not enough either.
Right. So is some play better than no play?
Not for me.
Okay.
Like a half a man. Like what said. What do you mean by that? Some play better than no play.
How do you take it?
As far as like, well, at least I got a man. He cheating on me, but at least I got a man. He ain't paying the bills, but at least I got a man.
Remember that thing the question I just asked you, where the man just asked me, what is the bare minimum requirement?
Mm-hmm.
It goes along with that. Why is that the bar? Why is that the standard?
That upset you, didn't it?
Girl.
How do y'all take that? Is some play better than no play? What is your perception on those?
Oh, you're just gonna take this little bit that I'm handing, and you're just gonna satisfy with that.
Well, I didn't know what the play was. Were we talking about a relationship?
I took it different.
Or were we talking about sex?
You took it different?
Or we're talking about foreplay?
How do you take that?
I took it as just hanging out with somebody versus being alone. Is just hanging out with somebody okay versus being by yourself. Not nothing serious. So that's why I said play ball. I hang out with you and we can laugh and chill.
So when the question came to my mind, I thought
our mind
somebody giving you attention, but it's not long lasting. So
yeah, it's the same thing that I said.
Yeah. So for example, a dude saying, "Ooh, you're pretty," and then moving on, as opposed to nobody saying nothing to you.
Every woman wants a compliment, though. They want to feel like they're attractive or wanted, whether it's short-lived or not.
Right, but if you're always getting those short-lived and you're not getting the long-term, is some play better than no play? Because I feel like if I'm just getting somebody that people that are like, "Oh, you have a nice smile, you have a nice smile," okay. Can I get somebody to say that twice?
I mean, with strangers, though, I don't think you should expect anything. I think people that are in your warm circle, though, and I think for guys, the answer is always going to be some play is better than no play. If a guy likes you and all you give him is a finger, if he likes you, he'll take the finger as long as he can get the finger. If that's the only part that's available to him, I think women are different. Women are more all or nothing in their mind, but guys know how to take women in pieces.
I bet they do. Jeffrey Dahmer. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. That's why it's easy for a guy to be led on. because he likes the pieces, the hope of. He cut your grass, wash your car, build your house.
That's the guy that
for,
don't mind being in the friend zone.
for the
Or he in
hope
the
of.
friend zone.
For the hope of, because what he's getting when he's with you is more than he would get if you weren't around and he really likes you. It's really sad that women, I won't call any names on this broadcast, but I know some women who are experts in that.
Not on this broadcast.
My daddy said hit dog go boom.
No. I'm doing it myself. Not on this podcast. I mean, I don't really know Dr. Jackson, but the other ones.
Oh, okay.
What did he say? I missed it.
All right.
He said he knows someone on his bride. He basically tell him you said what you said again. You wrong.
I basically said that a man will take whatever he can get from a woman, even if it's a pinky, if he likes her, because he realized some of her is more than none of her. And so that's why men are easier to be led on than women. They'll be cutting your grass, doing all kind of stuff, and have no hope. And then I said that I personally know a woman on this broadcast who has a long history of leading women on.
Leading women on. That definitely ain't nobody on this broadcast.
I mean, leading men on. And I ain't gonna. I said I wasn't gonna call no name, but I did hear somebody go, boom!
That on the pot. Absolutely not. I do not lead nobody on.
I don't lead anyone on either.
Now, as an example.
And I've always I got an example of both y'all. If both y'all want it.
I want it.
If both of y'all want
I want it.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start with the younger. I tell Lolita all the time at her funeral, if she passed away last month.
Don't say that. Don't say that here. Don't say that
last month.
Well, you wanted me to, because you know what I'm about to say.
Don't say that because I don't like when you say that.
But that's the thing.
Not true.
That is true.
But now we want to know.
How was that
right here?
Text it to me and Brandy.
Yeah.
Text it to us. We'll say it.
And then right here,
too.
I know. She got people cutting grass and moving tires and laying cement.
I think I know
that poor man hanging on, man, been hanging on for years.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I don't want people to think it's like something other than what you're about to say, because it's not that bad. Like it could be blown up in somebody's mind. So
right, because it ain't even that bad.
To me, I don't like it, but go.
I say if she passed away 3 months ago, it's gonna be a whole bunch of men fighting for that front row seat, saying we was in love. I mean, it's gonna be just a brawl of men thinking that they were the ones.
Taken in a bad way. I don't think that's taken in a bad way. I just think that there's a lot of guys who fancy you.
Right.
That's all.
And she's not sleeping with none of them.
Wait.
Right. And she's not stringing any of them along.
Zero.
It's not. I'm not stringing nobody along.
Correct. Neither am I.
No reason, or with no foundational.
Neither am I.
Oh, she looking down like we in a Brady Bunch circle or square.
This is me keeping my mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
I told Brandy last week, it's something that all four of y'all have, and it's weird. I have two friends personally that swear Brandy is attracted to them. One of them's married, and he told me, he said, boy, I'm thinking about risking it all. And she ain't thinking about him at all.
Yeah.
But he, in his interactions, he is thoroughly convinced that Brandy is, I hate to say it, but same thing with Lolita. I got a homeboy who swear up and down that they was getting married. When I told Lolita that, she screamed. She screamed in shock. The shockage was so much she couldn't hide it. And he literally, in his mind, he has colors picked. He already know where his mama was gonna sit, and he's already lit the unity candle.
Oh,
right. He's already lit the unity candle, and literally, since swallow the same thing. It is something
You
That
cussed out
now y'all.
Brandy and Lolita.
Do
No,
you want
first
me?
of all,
Do you want me to call names as well or no?
Right, because I'm about to say it.
Say
First
it.
of all, do not say no names
Los.
because
Oh no, no.
y'all
Well,
all
no.
telling stories. I don't lead like Lolita said. I do not lead anyone on. I make everything known up front.
I agree.
swell
Everything known up front.
But I think that
so this
says
your friend
more.
talking. This ain't your pastor talking.
I think that says more to the mindset of men, that if you smile at them and you're nice, oh, they really like me.
No.
And that's why they get mad when you don't want to give them your phone number.
Betty Wright, I believe, said not
Betty
to show.
Wright?
Betty Wright, don't show
White.
whoever she was. Don't show your teeth to every man in the street. That is a principle of womanhood. Men are so not used to women are used to somebody trying to talk to them.
Not Betty White, not the Golden Girls.
No,
Betty
it was
White,
Betty
she's
Wright.
a
I know
singer.
Who's Betty Wright?
No
No
pain,
pain, no
no
gain.
gain.
Oh,
Right.
yes, it was a black.
Right. So I think
Cheers.
women are used to stuff. Hey, Red, men at the gas station, at the grocery store, men are not used to that. So when you're endearing to a man, and I've had this conversation, I think with all four of y'all know how to be comfortable around men in a way that a lot of women are not. Has nothing to do with looks and all that. So when you're smiling and you're endearing and you're entreating him in conversation, he gets it crossed into thinking she got to feel me, because most women don't talk to me like this. He can be toothless, but he think Lolita wants to marry his toothless self. And he got a unibrow. He toothless with a unibrow. But he tell
Lena like a unibrow though. Lena like a good unibrow.
I don't like it. I like it. It don't matter.
Yeah, but I think it's a real thing. Since Swella know this is true, we just was at your house the other day, and one of Lolita's victims pulled up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean victim. Victim is wrong. I apologize for the integrity. Yeah, victim is not wrong. Let me say
it's wrong.
No, victim is wrong. One of her admirers. Let me say it like that. Because you're not guilty if somebody admires you.
No.
I strike victim for the record.
They probably smiling because I don't be smiling. I don't smile.
Because like Gerard said, men don't get that. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be pleasant.
Especially black men. I am extra kind to black men. I'll find something to compliment a black man on.
Hey fellas,
quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Hey fellas, but she says that's not leading you on.
Who said that? Who said that?
Since Lolita says she doesn't lead people on. She say, but she's pleasant on purpose because they don't get that.
How's that leading them on?
Why does it have to be?
Ooh, you know your skin is glowing, sir.
Ooh, that's something Ashley does. Ashley will compliment a black man, and you know it's nothing. She'll do right. Oh, you got some pretty teeth. Oh,
yeah,
you're handsome.
Yeah,
men don't hear that often.
Right.
What's the
But
Especially black
the
men.
thing is,
So you
if
do
we
sort
do
of
the
like
opposite,
kindness.
if we do the opposite, y'all call us angry. Y'all say we
I
have
was just about to say
RBS.
that.
Y'all say the whole thing, but anytime we smile, then it's like, okay, she's up for it.
Right. Or you say, well, that's why I'm dating a white woman, because y'all are unapproachable.
Right.
But when we're nice,
oh, you look nice, then
suddenly,
now we gotta be
trying to drop our drawers.
So how would the men like us
How
to look?
do you want us to approach you then, so that you don't get the wrong idea, but we're still pleasant people?
Good question.
Great question.
That's a great question. I got an answer for you.
Of course.
So I think that a man likes pleasant, but a man likes pleasant, and he will even pursue. But if you are nice to me, this sounds crazy, and you're smiling and you're endearing and you're entreating a conversation, I don't know if I know how to handle that. You almost have to also spice it up with boundaries that are not said. I think you have to also let me. I was talking to a girl one time, and we talked 2 or 3 nights straight. And on the 4th night, she didn't call me. And when she called me back, I was like, "Why you didn't call me last night?" And she said, "I ain't gotta call you every night. I'm not your girlfriend." I felt like I was going through a divorce. I felt like I wanted to deflate all the tires on her car. Because, girl, don't you call me with no good conversation before I go to bed 3 nights straight, and then you decide you're not going to call me. We together. 3 nights in. We together. In my head, we are
Then
together.
something is wrong with you.
Right.
Watch your mouth. Don't do it.
Oh, why you pushing me?
Yeah, watch your mouth. Don't do it.
Why you pushing
I'm
me?
sorry. Right. But yeah, I think that it maybe it's sad that that's the plight of a black man, but that attention goes a long way. But I think maybe you have to be mean a little bit. Maybe you have to be and that's sad to say, right?
Yeah, I don't like that game. I don't like to play those games when you showing that you're attracted to me. Okay, and then if I do like you, and then I show you that I'm starting to feel you, and then you want to go the opposite direction, and that back and forth. I don't like to play them games.
And if I'm gonna compliment you, I'm gonna compliment you. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna say, oh, you have nice teeth. Paul, calm down. I'm just saying you got nice teeth, brother. Back up. Go that way. Like I'm not doing that. That sounds crazy.
You said it sounds crazy, and I just said to myself that would save us a lot of headache. Yeah, in my mind, I didn't see no foul there. I didn't see no foul.
I remember one time I complimented a guy. His skin with that brown skin was just beautiful.
No acne, no.
Ooh, it wasn't you because I was looking up. And
Girl,
Don't do that to my Gerard now.
right. Get a Lolita.
And I said, your skin is amazing. Like the sun loves you. I'm walking, he gonna grab my arm, sir. I was just saying your skin nice.
Man, that makes me feel bad for him. That makes me feel so bad for him because he thought he had somebody who could appreciate him in whatever way, and he thought he had a friend, and he didn't. He didn't have a friend at all.
He didn't. He just had nice skin. That's his friend.
It's not wrong to compliment a man, though.
I don't think it is.
I
guess for men, some play is better than no play. But
Yeah.
for women, it's like, but for women, I don't. Some play is okay if I'm not attracted to you.
It's a thin line between flirting and sexual harassment.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Two different guys saying the same thing. One is flirting, one is sexual harassment. That is absolutely, fellas. Finish this
But
shit.
it's facts.
Because it's true.
That is tough.
Whether it's flirting or sexual harassment depends on how attracted I am to you.
Right.
I just want to apologize to you ladies for my text message the other night. Now I feel
Take
this.
the compliment. Men who want more don't pass the compliment. Men who want more don't pass the compliment, don't get no play.
Men, okay.
Hmm?
They're saying take the compliment and keep it pressing. If a man passes the if he doesn't give a compliment, that he doesn't get no play. So he has to give a compliment to get play. I don't believe that about women either, though.
Or he could just be cute.
I don't think you have to compliment a woman to get play now. I think, from what I'm learning, women like men who are more silent and stupid.
Or men who are mean to us, apparently.
Apparently.
Who is what?
Oh,
Apparently
men
we like men who are mean to us too.
don't pass.
Love passive aggressive.
That's what you like, Dr. Jackson?
No, I said apparently.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't mean that that's what I like. But apparently that's what's going out there is that we like the men who don't like us, who are mean to us. Anyone who's nice to us, we call them simps, and apparently
You know what? An interesting thing for me is, and this is probably why I'm single now. I like a dude, but as soon as he say he like me, I'm like, oh, aw,
that's a little toxic.
it's fine.
Yeah,
That's a little
that's
toxic.
again, like
No problem.
I'm working on that though. I'm working on that, and I also get bored real easily.
I think I've learned that, and this is a man and a woman issue. I think when it comes to some play, I think you can be 100% attracted to the falling for and the chasing stage. And that's why it's easy sometimes just to continue to do that. You know what I mean? You chase a girl, You get her. Once you get her, you spend a little
Somebody
time
bring my
there.
watermelon, please.
Yes, please bring her the
Bring
watermelon.
watermelon. Yeah, bring watermelon.
I muted it.
Bring it over here too.
Oh my
I like
God.
watermelon.
Hey, I had the sweetest.
ST3, you know you can go ahead and come on since
Oh
you're
my
there
gosh.
commenting.
I thought I muted it.
So yeah, so I think that some people like the chasing stage, and once they get, they don't want necessarily. You know what I mean? I'm through that stage now. You know what I mean? People inbox me. I don't inbox women because it's not good for my character. But people, I hope, sister, if you're watching, just know how this is getting ready to go for you. In the last couple of weeks or so, they inbox, and I know what they're looking for. And you know, I don't know what it is about this women and sending pictures things that is new, unsolicited. Like that's a thing now.
What?
Pictures of what?
I would
no.
scroll through my messages.
Oh no.
I don't want to embarrass nobody. But my point is, for me, I think it's interesting, but I never would move on something like that. And I know I talk on these podcasts all the time about a woman has to open the door to let me know I can shoot my shot. That is 100% true. But all she has to do is open the door. If she's opened the door and her pistol is out, I don't want that either. Don't shoot your shot at me. But let me know that it's okay that I shoot mine.
How does one let you know that with a wink and a wave?
No, if you see me laughing at all the posts you post on social media, even the one about your grandma's death anniversary, you know that if I post a ha to that, you know it. You know what they say. If I grin, I'm trying to get in. Swell up. If I grin, I'm trying to get in. You posted. It's been 10 years this month, me mom. I'm ha-haing it. Me mom, I ain't had no pound cake in 10 years. And here go me. Ha
ha.
Right. So you know, that's me letting you know to open up the door. So you need to inbox. There was the never mind. I ain't tell her.
I don't know what I just proved.
Lita, did you mute yourself?
Because she was laughing. If you want to tell me what I just
I didn't even see her hand go
up. Yeah, you got to open the door for
You were saying that you just proved this point. You were saying you just proved this point when you said that you were a little toxic. Right before
what was his point though? What did he say?
No, you proved Jay's point when you said I think proved the point that when I said that we like men who are a little mean to us, and when they're nice to us we call them simps, and you said that that's when he said that.
That's not the same. And I want somebody to tell me no every now and again. I don't want no yes man. I mean, if you call that mean, cool, but I want somebody to be like, no, woman. Okay, baby.
But then when a man say he like you, like, eh.
You hear that a lot with women.
What's that?
That they want a man who can say no to them sometimes. But I think, like Lita said, it's a thin line between sexual harassment
and
I think with that, it's a thin line between daddy and some other words. You don't have that right, because a woman will let you know you can't beat them, right? Not that you should want to, but I'm saying a woman will only listen to who she wants to listen to. You know,
right?
And sometimes you just figure out. I think I'm a smart guy. I'm worth listening to, but I had one that wouldn't listen so bad, so much. Swella told me in anger, made me cry. Just grow some balls. I said, Swella, what you want me to beat her? What you?
No, I don't even.
You don't remember?
No.
Why do you keep pushing me?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Standing this.
That's what he does.
He'd be like, just, you know what?
The Indian food was good, by the way.
Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No, I was going to say, I think though, for a man who's trying to get some play, it's very finicky, because we're in a different world now. It used to be you had to worry about a man blocking you and not talking to you after y'all got to a certain level in a relationship, even if it was physical. But we're in a generation where a sister will give you herself and she'll block you tomorrow. You'll call her and she'll be acting like, don't be calling me every day like you my man. And you be sitting over there trying to figure out how you done got in this situation. Look at all the women on here that's guilty. Look at them. They smirking. Right? 3, 2, 1. Dr. Jackson has a smirk. Swella's trying hard not to smirk.
She is.
She's trying so
First
hard.
of all, I was
She's trying to-
daydreaming. I didn't know what you said. I was daydreaming about something. I'm sorry.
You don't want to tell us about what you were daydreaming about?
No,
Okay. Keep it.
carry on.
Is it? Is it?
You're not muted.
I know, but y'all get what I'm saying?
I heard you.
I didn't understand you.
Cool.
Okay, good.
I heard you.
Because you know. Anyway, oh, you know what? I was in the gym one time. Because I'm going to go to the gym. I've been to the gym once. And I was working out, and this dude was on the treadmill, like 2 over from me. I guess he was working out. He was just standing there the whole time. Then he comes over while I'm working out, and he starts talking. So we have this whole conversation back and forth, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, this the type of attention I like. Okay, he's talking about going to get something to eat, hanging out. He's free Thursday, this, that, and the third, or whatever. And I asked the question, is there somebody anywhere that thinks that y'all are in a relationship? And his answer was yes. I'm like, this ain't well, after much hesitation. What'd you say? Huh? Which means yes. And I'm like, okay, so I decided I don't want some play. I don't want a little bit of play. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, you're so pretty. Thank you. I want that guy to say something. I want that guy to give me play. And I want all the play.
Let me ask you this. When you say all the play from a stranger, you're saying you want attention or you want this to turn into a relationship?
Attention that leads to a relationship. At least hanging out. I mean, at least going on a date, hanging out.
Is this person in your... So you're saying when you go out as a single woman, you're saying you want to receive play in that day. And one of them, because not all of them can turn into potential relationships going out.
Well, if we're doing polyamory, go ahead. No.
Yeah, so I'm saying, because that's different than you're somebody in my circle that I see all the time, and we may flirt. Like it's common to have a work husband, a work wife, and things like that. Are you saying that if it's just a work wife, work husband, that you would prefer it to be serious, and that
if it's a work husband, no, we're not gonna be serious. What are you talking about? I don't believe in work husbands.
Oh, work. Well, that's a real thing, though. Work husband, work wives.
Why we know? Is he buying my lunch every day?
A lot
is he
of
putting gas in my car while I'm at work.
Like, a lot of work. That's what a work. A lot of.
I like my work husband.
The work husband goes and
is he dropping money in my purse while I go to the bathroom? Like, yeah, I love him.
I have a whole 15-year-old son with a work wife.
Now you with it, Brandy?
Girl,
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I don't even want. I'm working 8 to 6, not 8 to 5.
Right. Yeah.
I got to spend a little extra time with him.
So that little play is okay, though.
Yes, he's washing my car while I'm at work. Yes, give me all of that. I love him.
Women like to use men. You're saying.
He's my work husband. How am I using him?
Y'all married.
We married. What are you talking about? I'm on his
He's
work.
providing and protecting her.
After work. I'm not understanding the problem.
That's some play. What if he wanted more play, though? What if he was doing that thinking it was going to be more?
How is going to be more at work? I got to work. Anyway.
Dip off to the bathroom. Dip off to the bathroom.
Well, they got the ladies' restroom and the man's restroom. He's ladies' restroom. He's not my man. You know what I'm saying? He confused.
They got that combo.
I don't know them.
Now you don't know
With the lady with the skirt.
them.
I
When
go
it's
to
time to do wifely duties, you don't know them.
Brandy, I know you work in the arts.
huh?
I know you work in the arts.
That's why half of them I can't. I can't. Anyway,
Wow.
I mean it's real. I went to an audition, saw a dude with mascara on. I said, "Sir, you somebody daddy in this. You still be somebody daddy." Anyway,
You say he had mascara on?
yeah, eyeliner, not mascara, eyeliner, because he wanted his eyes to pop. But yeah, anyway, let me ask this question: what do you consider some play?
I think if a girl, if we're hanging out and she flirts every now and then, or she says something lustful every now and then, but we've never really done anything. I think that's some play. And sometimes depending on the girl, how much you like her, that's enough. Because mentally, y'all don't, you know, I think that's some play.
Okay, ladies, do y'all have any idea of what some play would be for you?
No, because ladies want all or nothing. Look at
No,
them.
just hanging out. Just hanging out, going out to the movies. But we're not in a serious relationship. Just dating loosely. Pump
Gas
me
in
up
my
a little
car.
bit. I'm sorry.
Put some gas in my car.
I
Wow.
mean, that would be nice, but just pump me up a little bit and rub me up a little bit, and I'm good.
Oh,
Swallow your eyebrows jump right off your forehead.
No, she said rub me up a little bit. Rub. Mm.
rub me out a little bit. I feel like some play for me. Some play is the dude that be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing? Or you look nice today, or your skin is nice, or whatever the case may be." Hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. For me, some play is. Whoop. I feel like if you're in a relationship, make sure you share it the live. I think I've talked to everybody already. Make sure you share it the live and don't delete it from your page. Anyway, um, so yeah, I feel like that is a little bit of some play where you walk by and some dude compliments you, or some guy winks at you. Like that's some play to me.
I agree with both of y'all.
I don't know if that can be play with a stranger though. Like, how much play do you expect with a stranger?
Isn't everybody a stranger until they not?
I've never dated people that weren't in
Well,
my.
then, if that's the case, if you're talking about not being stranger, then I don't want some play. If we trying to vibe and we trying to connect, I don't want
Right.
that in and out. I don't want some play. I don't want you hot or cold. Pick
Yeah,
one.
usually some play is with a stranger or possibly with a coworker, like somebody you're not in a relationship with, not actively dating. That's what I think of when you think of some play.
Right.
Um, like for example, you're standing in the line at like Panera Bread. Let's just say you stand in line at Panera Bread, and they say, "Oh, can you recommend something on the menu?"
I don't think I've ever dated a
Like
stranger.
just starting a conversation, and
Wait,
then
say that one more time.
I wouldn't consider that some play. They just asking.
no, but if they say, "Oh, did you come here with somebody? You mind if I come and sit and eat lunch with you?"
Oh, that's some play.
Yeah, that is.
But usually
I
they
feel
start
like
by sparking up a conversation in the line.
I also feel like a dude standing close to me when I'm trying to pay is some play. You lying?
Oh,
And then I look
is
over
that
and
where the
I
bar
think
has
you're
gone?
invading my
where
space.
am I?
I'll be thinking you invading my space. I back up.
They are, but I be like, are you paying for this or am I? You can only be. I told one guy I was like, you can only be up on my booty if you're paying for my stuff.
What?
I should. He was so close. And the
That
dude.
reminds me of when we were in college and you go to the club and then somebody comes and just gyrates on you like they know you,
Oh, yeah.
just so they can cop a feel. That's not. I mean, I guess that's
That's some
some play.
play.
That's the word.
That's some.
But I feel like
That's violating.
in the sense
That is, but that's essentially what Brandy was describing. Like they come up so close to her that might as well be touching her.
may as well. I guess when we come back after them. But yeah, okay. So that's different. I don't think if we're going out, like Swola said, if it's not a stranger, it's not some play. It's play because you're actively trying to get to know me. You're actively trying to date me. I reckon.
I think the
And it's
problem.
not that temporary.
I think I have a problem with the question. Then, if that's the because your amount of play may be directly contingent upon something that you are or are not doing. If you outside with a bonnet on, sweatpants, and one of them fitted tank tops that women wear,
They get all the attention.
you're not getting play from me because you look like toxic relationship, child support, and a domestic violence injunction. You're not getting play from me. So if you're a woman or man, I think you can determine the amount of play. If you have a terrible attitude, you're not getting no play because it's just. So I don't know if I've never been the kind of dude when I did go to the club many years ago. I don't believe in grabbing no woman when they walk by you without talking to her, knowing her, because I believe that's illegal. I don't believe in. I had a many years ago. I had a girl literally come home drunk from the club and got on my bed and was frisky, and I knew in the back of my mind that this is illegal. I don't care if she consents right now or not. If she wake up tomorrow and say she didn't want it, you going to jail. So for me, I think your disposition can determine your amount of play as well.
I reckon.
Which brings us back to the light bill. No play.
And I was go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about the light bill.
I'm just saying that's a no play.
Right. No play at all. Okay.
I get no play regardless of what I do.
Did you share the live?
I gotta pay an entrance fee too.
Do I? So
Why are you being so petty?
Yeah, I need you to share.
Where's the
it.
offering plate? Pass this collection
sharing
plate
the
around so I
live,
can
so
put
go ahead and share it
my
for me.
$100 in there.
Go ahead and share it for me. It's free.
What you? Come on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What?
who left? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So anyway, so yeah, if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. But I agree. If you just paying a light bill, you get no play. Now let me ask this question because you brought it back today, and I did want to ask this question. Good job. Should a man pay all the bills?
That's for everyone. Or are you pointing at
Everybody. Oh, I'm not.
should a man?
If you're a woman that's worth getting all the bills paid for.
What would
Well, everybody.
What does that woman look like?
What would right? What
It's
would,
not about look.
No,
what would that,
like
what
no,
would that
not
determine?
look
Like
like.
that.
Describe this woman.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, what
What
environment
will
would a woman?
determine?
I mean,
If
a
you're
woman
gonna
that's
pay the
supportive. Yeah, a woman that's supportive. A woman that is in line with, particularly for me, what I got going on.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So you pay all the bills if she's supportive and if she's in line
Now
with.
this ain't just you come in here. You just no. I'm running through the test. I'm about to give you everything, but that's pretty much it. You gonna
pay
rerun
all the bills.
Yeah.
What test is this? What test does she have to pass?
I ain't telling you that. Before you take the SAT, do you know the answers or the questions to the test?
Oh,
she's
potentially gonna take the test. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
So if we're gonna bring up the SATs, let's do that.
Oh God.
So the SATs, there are tests out that tell you that give you some of the questions that's going to be on the SATs. You study for that. You study for that your whole life,
Right.
right? Because you know what that test is for and what your expectations for that test is going to be. You're going to do math. You're going to do English. You're going to do those two subject matters. See how well you do. Each man is different. So for me to assume the SATs are standard across the board, everybody's taking the same test.
Okay.
The number of the test questions might be varied, but same test. Each man is different. So how am I supposed to know what test questions you have?
Well, there's the practice
Again,
exam, right?
like
There's a practice exam, right? There's a practice exam, right? There's a prep, right?
Are you handing out this practice exam, sir?
I'm not the one handing it out. There's a prep. There's a prep, right? There's information. There's information. There's information available that shows you how to be this kind of woman, right?
What kind of? Nobody knows what kind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what kind of woman I think deserves for a man to pay all the bills.
Yeah, for you. Go ahead.
And this is,
of course, for him.
This is from me. I think that if I'm gonna pay all the bills, when it comes to keeping the home, that's your job. Not that I never sweep, not that I never mop, not that I never cook, but those are primarily your responsibilities. I think if there are children involved, not that I never deal with them, not that I never support, but it's primarily your job. I think when it comes to me and the things that I need to go out and to make the money, whether I take my food, whether I need lunch and I don't have time to go get it, or whatever those things are, that's your job. I think when it comes to sexual relations, whether you work or not, it's your job. But especially if you don't work, it's your job.
I agree.
I think that those are the things for me. I do think that a woman who is not working, although I understand that being home with children and doing housework, you need break, and I think she has to work harder to make sure that the home environment is peaceful. And when she has these moments, that unfortunately she may have to deal with them alone, not because her feelings are not valid, but a man that goes out and works and does all the supporting, although he should be willing to listen to her, and I'm sure he will be, he doesn't want to hear that when he comes home the first thing in the door. Because even though you have issues, to me, it comes off as ungrateful, because I've been out here fighting all day long. And as soon as I come in the door, you're upset because you thought it was on sale at Walmart or Winn-Dixie, and by the time you got there, it wasn't anymore. And that may seem like a little thing, but those little issues a man doesn't want to hear when all the weight, because Lolita talked about all the weight on your back. Believe it or not, it's the same weight on a man. He should be strong enough to carry it, though. But it's still the same weight. It's still the same fears. When his boss gets upset with him and he wants to tell his boss where to stick it, he thinks about those children, those women at home too, and he suffers through it mentally, because I can't tell my boss to go to hallelujah today. You know,
unless
what I mean?
he's paying the light bill.
Right. Yeah. So I think that those things are, and that's not an exhaustive list, but I think those are bare minimums.
Can't believe you didn't catch that.
Say again.
I say, can't believe you didn't catch that. That little, you just slid that right underneath there.
No,
right.
Right in front
of
him.
I think those are the bare minimums that a man should expect from a woman when he's
Jay, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Would you agree, yes or no, that is a job?
That what is a job?
That what you just described, that, you know, you would want this woman who you would be paying all the bills for, would you agree or disagree that that's a job?
That's his job.
No, that's a job that's her job, a woman's job. Is that a job or not? Would you classify that as a job or not?
I classify a homemaker or a domestic engineer as a that's my auntie used to call herself, a domestic engineer. I classify that as a job.
Okay.
I mean, when you label it a domestic engineer, I feel like
I agree. I agree with that. It's a job. You get compensated. You get compensated accordingly for that.
Right. I think that is a job.
Yeah, you get compensated accordingly.
And I want to say this too, along those lines. When I say cook, you're not gonna hamburger helper me 3-4 times a week.
They
I
still
ain't gonna eat pasta the other
Prep.
2 times a week. Grandma had
Y'all asking for too much now.
Oh, well, then you can't get all the bills paid.
That's the
You can't get
problem.
all the bills paid.
Right, see,
I
that is the problem though. A lot of women, they say they want that. Let me tell you something about those men. When I don't care if grandma was on her way to church. I seen it with Geraldine Stevens myself. If she was on her way to church
She
and
gonna
that
cook that.
breadwinner said, "You ain't going out there tonight," she called pastor and say, "Well, Reb," he said, "I can't come," because they had a certain expectation that
Right.
just like a supervisor, I'm this is my full-time job. I can't go. A lot of women want the benefits of being a modern woman while having a traditional system.
But here's the thing, Jay. Here's the thing to piggyback off that, Jay. The thing about it is that grandmama, she wasn't getting all the bills paid. She was probably maybe paying what? I mean, she was probably coming in 30%, right?
My grandma
40%.
I don't know if
was
I do agree that they did work. I don't know if they
Right.
did 30%, but they did their part. But for example, my granddaddy was like this, and that's what I tried to do in both of my marriages. And I tell everybody it won't happen again. And I said this before on this platform. I said a woman said to me, I ain't talking about him or no, said to me, all you do is pay the bills, help with the kids, cook and clean. I cooked and cleaned because I was raised to do it and she didn't know how to cook. But literally, she said to me, "What do you do for me?" I do know now that she meant, what did I do as her husband? We had never traveled, this and that. I was working 12 hours a day and living in South Florida is not inexpensive to live in South Florida. And I was the only one working. And she said that to me. I called my daddy. My daddy said, "Leave." June 1st, 2017, I left because and I'm gonna say this, and you got a suck penis and lots of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Jay just spelled it all out for you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
Because black women think the oral sex for a man is sexual and freaky and perversion, and some of that's to it. But what it is
talking about on the live before, every woman that was on here, me, said that it's something that they don't mind doing.
No.
They're not about minding doing this. You're gonna do.
No. But I mean, it's that act is a level of humility.
You want the bills paid? You gonna do it. You don't want the bills paid? Do you want the bills paid or not? You go out to do it. It ain't a requirement. It's not when you feel like doing it. No, just I'm gonna drop these pants and you gonna.
I don't believe that you really feel that way. I think you would like to get.
You don't believe that I feel that way?
No, I think you like to get a rise out of people, and if you do, I would imagine you've been single for over 3 decades.
Oh, really?
That's how long you've been living.
That's how long I've been single.
No,
Hey, I guess I'm single then.
I guess so. No, Lisa, you
but I
were
like
gonna
when
say
Ashley with her little red lipstick. She's a different kind of feisty when she got on her red lipstick.
yes. No, Lisa, you were gonna say,
if you don't mind me asking, what's your relationship?
Hold on.
I wasn't gonna say
Wait,
anything.
there's like 30 different people talking.
Stelson, go ahead, Lisa.
I was shocked by what he said. Like, it's not that.
I missed what he said. What did
he said? If you want your bills paid, suck up.
I mean, if you want all the, if like
So
that's how it
question,
is. I mean,
I was asking SC3, what's his longest relationship?
why do you want to know that?
Because did you pay all the bills in your relationship? Was she doing everything, or that's why y'all broke up?
I'm not here to reveal my personal situations.
Okay, you don't have to answer.
Lonely.
Lonely?
1000%.
Okay.
So,
or you got somebody chained under your bed.
I got somebody. That white woman that Jay was talking about like 4 weeks ago.
I wasn't gonna bring that white woman up there.
You already apologized for that.
That's the woman that's chained.
You already apologized for that. You can't bring it up again.
What was the movie when Samuel L. Jackson had the white woman chained up like a dog?
Snake something on.
Snake, black steak moon.
Definitely ST3.
I never even heard that.
Oh my goodness.
but yeah, but let me ask a question based on that question. As modern women who desire traditional situations with men, is that a lifestyle that you all could subscribe to?
What's that? Being a homemaker and do what? What?
A man pays everything.
Love him.
You do the cooking. You deal with the children.
Yeah.
You also hold him down and mentally you submit. You provide sex on demand and oral sex often as possible.
I want it on demand too, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you have a problem. Is that a lifestyle that you believe most women would subscribe to? Ashley shaking her head.
No.
Right? No, that's no.
This is
Ashley's
no.
right. No.
I don't think most
That's why.
So what's the
That's why it's
trade-off?
50-50 in most relationships.
Hold on, ST3. I want to hear the women. What's the trade-off then, women? You shake your head, Ashley. What does a man get for working and being the breadwinner, paying all the bills?
The question you asked is, could I be the one at home while he did all of that?
No, the question I asked was, well, I guess you can answer that.
Most women.
The question I asked was, could now that we're modern women, is that an equal trade-off? Do you consider that to be an equal trade-off?
Where he works and he takes care of the outside and you take care of the inside, basically. I think
no, I don't want to stay home like that. So that's not an equal trade-off because I think that's miserable. I mean, God bless those that do it, you know.
I was gonna say you can't.
Round me up.
I want to go to work. I want to work. Not that I want to for it to be a need in our household, but I like working.
Dinner's getting cold.
So
I have a question. I have a question to that. I have a
Hold
question.
on, SC, I was talking first. Let me ask you this, Ashley. So you
hold on. If you
go ahead.
You know I can control buttons.
Go ahead, please. Just go ahead.
So if you desire a man to be the breadwinner and he says to you, I don't want you working because I want you to be home to take my clothes to the cleaners. I want you to be home. You're saying you couldn't agree with that either.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would stay home if he's making a certain amount and I can spend carelessly and I can travel and there's no limit to my spending, then sure, I'll stay home and take your clothes to the dry cleaner every now and again. But I'm not staying home and we're like just a baseline family. I'm not doing that.
And just living paycheck
why?
to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck or every 3 paychecks. And if you don't go to work, we're going to be looking lost. No, I'm not doing that.
Well,
I actually had a guy
you gotta assume that a man who's paying
at his beck and call, basically. He wants a woman. He doesn't want his woman to work. And this is our first conversation now. He doesn't want a woman to work because he doesn't want her to be on her a boss's schedule. He wants her to be on his schedule and available to him when he wants her to be available to him. But in turn, he's not available to her when she wants him to be available. I can't live that life. And I think a man also, I'm with the kids. You need to have some interaction with the kids. You need to have some responsibility with the kids. Okay, I clean up, I cook, I take your clothes to the laundress. That's fine, cool. But I'm not just raising these kids for myself.
I think you all are being not ambiguous. I think you all are being I think it's not.
It's conditional.
I don't think y'all are realistic.
Is that why you're pouting?
It's conditional.
Yeah, I think for the first part of this conversation to be, he just paying the light bill. So if the man just paying the light bill, he's down. And if he pays all the bills, guess what, ladies? He's still just as down.
How?
That's not what we said.
That's not what
we said. She
ask Lolita if that's what she heard, because Lolita is really good with being neutral. Lolita, did you hear what I heard?
No.
What did you hear?
What?
I heard everybody has their own opinions about whether they can do it or not. Ashley said she cannot because she does not want to stay at home. I said that I definitely could. Brandy said that she could. I don't know that Dr. Jackson said that she could or she couldn't. But I mean, Brandy is depending on the delivery. It's like, you want me to be on, I want you to be my beck and call, not that we're a partner and this is what you take care of and this is what I take care of. And both areas is valuable and it's going to help the team get to the Super Bowl. But I just want you to be my freaking call girl. It's not.
And then you working
So-
so much that you're not home, so you're not attending to my emotional needs because you're not around.
Well, this is scary.
But you want
Shelton,
me to attend to all your emotional needs. And I'm with play ball. It'd be nice if paying all the bills, if the man is paying all the bills, if me going to work is optional, but I probably wouldn't be in a situation where I'd be fully staying at home. I get bored. I get absolutely bored.
How could you get bored? Watch them
That's
baseball.
that. Why? How can you get bored when you don't got to work? You can just be at home doing whatever you want.
Getting walls.
Okay.
God.
So
What
there
you
are men out here who, for example, a man wants you to live based on his salary, right? A lot of times, because if they're doing all the bill paying, you're living based on their salary, right?
Right.
And if their salary only allows us to live paycheck to paycheck, what if that's not what I want?
But I think that's not. You can't put it like that because if a man is able to pay all the bills, you
The
gotta
average
you
man
gotta
in the
take it.
U.S.
But if you're
The
saying a man
average
that's paying
salary for a
all the
man in the
bills,
U.S.
he's paying the bills for the
52,000.
lifestyle that you both are living, and he's taking into consideration the lifestyle you want to live as well. So for you to say that you're coming in with a man that's paying paycheck to paycheck, that's not a man paying all the bills.
The average man in the U.S. makes $52,000 a year.
I gotta get away from
Okay, but
Brandon.
that's not the man that pays all the bills. A man who's
Yeah.
average making 52,000 a year ain't the man who paid all the bills.
Be arrested.
That's
Which
not
you-
that.
I
That's not
think-
that kind
I
of man.
I
The
think
kind
you're
of man that
screaming.
pays the
I think you're
bills
screaming
is a
into
man that
the
makes way
mic
more than
and
that.
not listening to what she's saying. You can
I'm hearing it clearly.
no, you're not. If he's making 53,000, he could still be paying all the bills. But your bills are minimum. You're living in a studio apartment.
I don't
You
think
can't have the
Or
night
living in a
home
rural area away from
during the
everybody else.
daytime.
I don't think he's talking about check to check.
But I'm just saying, you can have a man paying all the bills and still living paycheck to paycheck. That is a thing. There are people out there doing that.
Right.
But
But
what I'm saying is I'm not doing it because I want to be able to. If I want to go somewhere, I want to go. I don't want it to be, oh well, can we afford for you to eat? You can't spend them $10 at Chick-fil-A. You sound like that, sir.
Even if it's 80,000, sometimes 80,000 cannot take care of a whole family of 5. It can't.
Oh, y'all.
Not this
Why
way.
can't it?
I think no. I think what y'all are saying. I think what y'all saying.
It cannot.
it cannot.
It cannot. I have 6
cannot.
children and I make 6 figures and I'm struggling.
I think that Dr.
Well,
Jackson.
lower your means.
No,
Exactly. You see that you just answered. You just answered.
No,
your
no,
own
I'm
question.
just speaking. I'm speaking to that to your situation. If you're struggling, if you're making 6 figures and you're struggling to live at your means, lower your means. Why are you living at a means that you shouldn't be living at? If you're struggling with that money,
Please.
amount of money.
Because other things come up. For example, paying
With
for
that
student
amount of
loans,
money,
paying for this. Things come up. But
Well, then
if you're
live
not paying,
at your means.
whatever the case is, go
are
ahead.
we saying? I just want to be clear, Dr. Jackson, and play ball. Are we saying a man who loves you is faithful to you?
Paying light bill.
You are attracted to him. You
And
are
he's never home.
and literally he's working and he's making 52,000. Y'all are homeowners. It may not be in a gated community, homeowners, and y'all are saving and this, that, and the other, or whatever. You're saying that
saving
even
with
paycheck
52,000?
to paycheck, y'all have everything.
You gotta vacate your community with $50,000. You living in a trailer park.
That's what
No,
I'm saying. $52,000. You're not saving anything.
I don't care how good he looked, because true story. I drove the other day and I drove past a man on the bridge and said, "Oh, he's nice looking." That didn't make me bust a Yui. I don't care how good you look. That did not make me bust a Yui.
What was the first part of your sentence?
And she was driving.
I was driving. I saw a man under the bridge. I said, "Oh, he's nice looking,"
You're so sick.
because he was, but he was homeless.
You know what?
And I went like, "Screw, let me holler at this 5 minutes." No, that does not equate security.
You didn't listen to what I was
I
saying.
did hear what you said.
What I'm saying
I
is,
love him.
even if he made $80,000, you mean to tell me that you couldn't lower where you live, what you drive, and extracurriculars to be with somebody who loves you and treats you right, and y'all not homeless and hungry?
If I will go back to my mama house, I could. And
You-
period.
Who said
God,
they
Why do I
could?
have to
Who
lower
said
my
that?
standard of living?
that is
What-
scary.
Who said they could?
Why would I have to lower my standard of living to be with you, though? That's my thing.
No. I
And
didn't
my
say that.
thing is, I
Dr.
think
You
it's
just said
crazy.
that.
Dr.
I think
Jackson
it's
and play ball.
crazy
Hold on,
that,
wait.
There's
that
no
that's the
humility
thing.
in this at all.
I
There's
think
no
it's
humility in
crazy.
this at all.
I think it's crazy that y'all would prefer me to lower my standards
Y'all
and to stick, hold on, and to stick it out with this guy instead of me saying I will work.
I will work.
Why can't
and
I
will
go to work?
contribute.
Like y'all, why isn't that this? That should be the thing. Like, you know what? Yeah, she down. She going to work.
But watch
I would
this.
rather go to
You know,
work.
That
You know what
puts
I
us
think?
back in our circle from the beginning. You go to work, you make more than him. Now he loses his manhood. Now he's a. I
If
almost
you
said,
lose your manhood because you make less than her, that's a personal problem.
no, y'all said that. I didn't say that.
If you at a restaurant,
That's mine. She done popped up somewhere
I,
else.
I think the problem, and you know, you used the right term, Jay, earlier with the whole thing of modern women and situation. I think the issue is that values have been lost. What's really important has been lost. It's all
That's
about
it.
maintaining. It's all about maintaining a lifestyle. It's all about maintaining these superficial ideas, but you forget what is really necessary. You
I
know,
agree.
we forget what's really necessary, and so you want to shoot for somebody who is making a certain amount of money because this is what you want. You want this superficial life, but then that person doesn't have the value, doesn't care about you, is never going to be there for you. You're never going to see them, and then that's a problem too. You got to. I think
That's not literally
I think what needs to happen
though.
is, I think what needs to happen is we need to go back and first and foremost open that book and remember what's valuable in this life.
Hallelujah.
But
What's
That's
valuable?
literally
What's
the
valuable?
scenario
What's
that
valuable
y'all
in this
gave
life?
us. That doesn't
What is
make
what is
sense.
more valuable in this
You
life?
keep on
Somebody who's going to
repeating the
spend
same
time.
thing and we're
Somebody
trying
who's
to
going to
talk.
be there with you when it's all said and done. When the money's gone. When all of the superficial stuff doesn't exist.
If you're saying
COVID
that
happened.
you're
COVID
the
happened.
example of the
Nobody
man
could
that's gonna
travel.
be
We
with
couldn't
you,
leave. We couldn't go
no matter
nowhere.
what,
We had to
I
sit
don't
in our
think that I
house.
would rather go to work. If you're the
We had
guy
to sit
that
in our
you're
house
talking about, Mr. Drop
for
My
months.
Pants, you better suck it. I think I'd rather be by myself. If you're the guy out the good book that you're talking about,
I
I'd
didn't say I
rather be going
was.
to work with no values. Because that's not right. That makes no sense what you're saying.
Exactly,
That's
because
not
we're
value.
saying that we're willing
You're
to work with
devaluing
you
her.
and contribute.
You're literally devaluing her by saying, well, I'm providing for you. So when I drop my pants, you better do it. Ain't no option. That's not value.
I agree.
And we are trying to say that, okay, we don't mind working so that you don't have to work as hard and we can actually spend time with each other. Because a lot of times when a man is providing and that's what he's doing, a lot of times he's at work all the time. So you're with the kids all the time. And you guys don't get to spend any quality time together.
But see, I think what you and
I don't
Ashley are
think
doing, Dr. Jackson, I think you all are talking from where you are now. Because I think when you talked about being with the children, and Ashley talked about lowering her level, but I'm talking about a nebulous type situation where a person let's say in a perfect world, and you had a man that worked hard outside of home. Not talking from a frustrated woman who's been a single mom, who's had to deal with the children alone, because those are the examples, Dr. Jackson, that you use. I'm saying a vanilla relationship with the man. Let's say before children. He works outside of the home. It requires him to be gone. I know somebody personally. Their husband went and got a CDL license and became a over-the-road truck driver, was making great money. She complained because he was gone 3 weeks out of the month. He took her on the road with him. She complained because they had some issues, got stuck in a ditch, because that happens in the trucking world. She didn't like it.
Truck stops smell like piss.
Right. Whoa.
I mean, I was a trucker, so I know.
Okay. But with all of that, they ended up coming back to something different. And he's washing cars at a car wash. Like you can't, a man can't win. I don't see how a man can win in these situations.
No, that and that,
If he's
but
broke,
what
he's
during that week,
what you're saying that this example that you gave, she also doesn't work. He's washing cars and struggling. Man can't win. But then when you see a man on the side of the road washing cars, and then you find out that his wife is healthy and doesn't work, then the issue is why she can't leave, why she can't work, why she can't help him
And
out.
there's no kids,
So
remember?
therefore, you saying a man can't win, a woman can't win. When we say we'll go to work, I don't like being home all the time. I will contribute and I will help us to grow our wealth. That's the problem. It's like we can't win. I don't want to be home.
Well, if you're watching, I'm pushing a reset button on my life today. I just want the first level of relationship is companionship. I want somebody who want to be in my space and breathe my air, and we can work on the rest of it later.
No,
Let's
that's
So
not enough.
I have a
Yeah.
question then. So
Yeah.
That's not enough.
so if so you for the women that want to work, right? Are you okay with now coming into a situation where a man is paying, you're doing 50-50? Let's just go there.
sounds like they. Oh, I'm gonna let the man.
Well, no, yeah. If you're wanting to work because that's what you want to do, is it okay now for you to be in a situation with a man that's 50-50?
And I'm married to him.
You're married to whatever. You courting him,
Yeah,
you're married,
okay,
y'all
if I'm
courting each
married
other,
to
you're
him,
married. Yeah.
if I'm married to him, then I won't know who's paying what because I believe in joint accounts. So I could be paying all of all I know. I mean, the money, as long as the bills are paid.
Are you okay with 50-50?
If I just told you all of my money goes into the same account that his is
Same
in,
thing. We're
I,
doing
then
I,
it
it's just a
doesn't.
yes or no. 50-50.
It's not 50-50 if you're all one account. You're one.
Right.
If you're one,
Whatever.
Yeah,
there's no
y'all
50-50.
doing the ST3. Excuse me, ST3 for using your name, but y'all are definitely contradicting yourself. Because when I said earlier that whatever you make in a household goes in one account, so it doesn't matter who made it, it was separate enough then for you to know who was paying the light bill. If you make more than your man and he's only putting $3,000 in their account a month, and you putting 10 in there a month, and all the bills getting paid, what's the difference in that then?
If you
You said that he
cannot,
was only paying a light bill. That is a very big
I was thinking
difference
that too.
from
Whoever
putting
wrote
in
that
three.
comment, I was literally thinking that too.
that's because you wrote it.
I didn't. I didn't write
He
it.
didn't write it. He didn't write it.
I thought about it though. But you see, great minds think alike. Ashley,
You literally was thinking the whiz.
I was thinking you can't win, and I was about to start singing it, but I'm good.
Sing it, ST3.
Nah,
I
we
got it.
good. That's not this live. Y'all gonna have to pay to come see that live.
I don't see what's wrong with a woman who wants to contribute.
I mean, ain't no problem with that. It's
Because,
just now
like,
it's 50-50 okay.
if for example, if your job, if your money's paying the light bill, what the mortgage and all of this different stuff, and say I work and then the money goes towards savings, vacations, and whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. But I'm contributing so that we have a better life, so we have money to go spend time, to go take the kids out. I don't see the problem.
Well, are you gonna treat that man any different?
And I think,
and if you're talking about whose bills, who's paying what bill, light bill, water bill, mortgage, you know how much he's contributing to the account. So you know if his portion is enough to take care of the mortgage.
and I think that there's based on SC3's mindset. If I'm paying all the bills, with that as a parent of daughters, I would never encourage them not to have a job. Because if that's the mindset that a man takes, because you were just about to ask SC3 if would you make him feel less than if he's not paying all the bills. But the thought process on the reverse is you would make her feel less than because you are paying all the bills. So I think
Whoever said that?
It's good.
You said it because you're like, if I'm paying all the bills,
I never said that.
You literally said, if I'm paying all the bills, you better be ready to do what I want to do when I want to do it. You're making
is
her
that not
feel less than.
is that not okay for me to have? Just because
It's
I
not
have that
okay.
opinion,
I'm sorry.
It's not
just
okay.
because I have that opinion,
ready to pull down her pants, pull down my
just
pants.
because
and
I have
suck
that
this when I'm
opinion, I don't
ready.
value my
Yes.
woman. Is that what we're gonna conclude?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Just because of that, just because I want some head.
Okay, so
She's
if
high.
I'm paying all the bills and I say, well, you better get down and get in between these and do what I'm going to do, that's making you feel like you're less than, isn't it?
You said what? Not repeat that, Dr. Jackson. Go ahead.
I said, so if I reversed it to you and said, since I'm paying all the bills, then you better get down and put your face in this anytime I want it.
Spread them legs open then.
Gladly.
Spread them
Listen.
legs. Dive in.
I think
I think that to you, she's hired. That's
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do. I'm
you
gonna do
need a mail
regardless.
order bride. That's what you need to do. You need to find somebody that
I
don't
need a
speak
mail order,
no
bro.
English.
Get one from Thailand, though. That's what I'm gonna do. Get
Oh,
one
Right.
from
And
that's
he's
Thailand,
looking
so
for a
Taiwan, or
visa.
something.
So good luck.
but
But I would never encourage that for
You
my
gonna say
children.
something?
Heck no.
Melissa, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I'm just listening.
Since well, are you gonna be involved in the conversation?
She over there doing homework or whatever.
as well as writing up a whole estimate job for
Right.
roof.
Swallow, you're not muted. We can hear every click, and you over there doing thumbs up like you muted.
We want you to participate, Sensuela.
Yeah.
We hear every clack on that keyboard,
Y'all, bring me some lemonade.
and you miming.
You were gonna say something?
I think that these conversations are interesting, and I think that for me in my house, I need to put my head down. You with women, you got to make it. You got to pay the cost to be the boss.
See,
You
the
got to
problem
pay to
is,
play.
the
You got
problem
to
is
pay to
y'all want
save.
modern women,
You got to
but you want traditional women, but you don't. You want a traditional woman, but you want her to work. You want a traditional woman, but you want her to freaking pull out your chair. You want a traditional woman,
No.
but you want her to pay for a meal. Pay for the meal. Like y'all want one thing. I don't know what y'all want. Y'all really don't.
I feel like if in a
Kind of
perfect
clear
world,
on what we wanted.
Gerard in a perfect world would have a wife that does not work. And at this age, with my baby being 8 and my two oldest being 15, even when they're grown, I want my wife to be available for me at all times.
But you just said
That's
you wouldn't
right.
do that again.
So what?
You just said you wouldn't do that again.
I wouldn't do it again up front, but I did. And the reason I said that is because for me, and I Lita, did you get it, or was you giving me?
I got it. Hell home.
I didn't know if that was a mosquito.
Don't call my sister
A
out.
round of applause.
I got it.
Yeah, I thought you was clapping for me. I was like, yeah. So for me, the reason I said because I felt undervalued and underappreciated in both situations. I was 18 when I got married the first time with a wife that didn't work. We had our own place and 2 cars, and we didn't eat out of a can. Literally had a great job at the bank, and so it for me, I was burned twice. The second time, I came home from prison. 30 days, had a really good sales job in work release. 30 days after I came home from prison, my wife stopped working and didn't work anymore the rest of our marriage. And we weren't borrowing from people and this, that, and other. So for me, I feel like I've been burned twice. So for me, my wife working is not even a matter of whether I wonder if not I can handle the household. For me, I think it's a matter of maybe this will keep me humble, because I think it's different when somebody is working and paying. I think in my mind, I feel like I have to give up some of I'm the big boss. So I'm okay with you having some of your off way or off thinking opinions. But when I am doing all the work and I come home, if I say I want pork chop on Monday and I come home and you got a crab boil, we might be heading to divorce court, because I
don't know if
feel
it's that serious, but
those are the kind of things that a woman has to give up for a man that's doing all the bill paying and the head of household.
And that's why I'm going to work.
I will agree to some points that Gerard brought up as far as just the availability thing and just relieving the stress of relieving the stress of my woman, number one, but also making sure that we live, especially because of the day and age we live, that they're available for the children. Because I personally want my children to come up a certain way. I don't want them to just be exposed to all types of what's going on in this world, and somebody has to be available for them to do that. I don't want to put, for me personally, I don't want to put the pressure on my woman to go out there and do something that I'm capable and should be doing. So I want to leave the responsibility of the other things, which she is naturally more adept to do, and I go out there and actually work. She's naturally more adept to being with the children. She knows how to communicate with them on a level that I can only do from a certain point because she actually had them. She actually birthed them, right? So that's why I would want her to be in that position where it's like, okay, you're doing that. You're naturally more of a homemaker. You're naturally more of this thing. So I would want you to be in your natural role, and I would want it to make it as easy as possible for doing that. And that's for me personally why if my desire is to have a woman who is staying home.
Listen to what it
So,
sounds
work
like.
from home.
Hold on, but to that same point,
I
think
work
about
from
this.
home.
Think about this. If I'm going to work and I'm doing the best I can, whether it's 50 or 100 or 150, 200,000, and I'm doing that because I want my children not to have to go home or the after school care, this, that. I want their mama to get them from the school bus. And I'm doing this and my wife is saying to me, no, I ain't going to sit back and be here for your kids, but because I want a room or because I want an extra room in a house, or I want to live in this neighborhood and not still a safe neighborhood, for a woman to say to her husband who's making good enough money for them to live above the poverty line. It ain't got to be all the way above the poverty line, but you're gonna abandon your responsibility to get the kids off the bus. You're gonna abandon your responsibility to go shopping and have me a hot
Proverbs
meal.
31.
You're gonna abandon your responsibility to make sure my work clothes for tomorrow are cleaned and pressed just because you want to go on a extra vacation every now and then. If we never go on a vacation, but we raise healthy children, we have each other, we're in love, nobody's cheating or beating on each other. Why is me and my job and my income not enough for you women that you feel like you would abandon all of that to go work? What's wrong with y'all?
Can I
I
say
work from
something to that?
home.
Ooh, y'all got Gerard heated tonight, boy.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you that you think that I have to live according to what you can make and be capped out there? Like, what? How selfish are you to feel that way?
Mm.
I feel like as a person who I don't make a lot of money, but I make a good enough amount. I'm still there to get my children after school and to take them to their after school activities, to help with homework. And I work a full-time job by myself. There's no man in this house. So for that to be the thing, I want you to be there to get them off the bus. Because that,
I'm not
like,
doing that.
what is
I'm
that?
not.
And if I'm not there to get them off the bus, my mom was there to get us off the bus, but we walked home and we locked the door and while she was working, and we turned out pretty okay. That's not the standard of if the child is going to be okay or not. But why do I have to live in a 2-bedroom shack because you can't make past a certain amount of money instead of just letting me go to work? I mean, I'm not doing that. And I won't want to be with no man like that who rather say, why I'm not enough for you. Because you ain't, that's why.
Why
If
you
you
have
But that's the
I
thing.
have a
That's
question.
Go
nobody
ahead.
said you're not enough. I want to work. I want more.
So, Stelson, you said that women are we're nurturers. That is our position. We take care of the household. That's our role. Men's role is to provide for the household, to lead. Da 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 da. But on the other turn, you said if you want me to pay all the bills, you better get on your knees. I'm confused.
Oh my goodness.
What? I'm confused.
You said it. You talk about, oh my goodness, you said it.
To Gerard's point about the kids, he wants the wife to be there to like rear the kids and be there for the kids with homework, and regardless if I'm making like just barely above poverty. With my clients, what I've learned, Black people are going to be in a heck of a situation because I see how Indian parents are raising their kids, white parents are raising their kids, Asian parents are raising their kids. And in order to give your child a leg up, you have to give them certain experiences. And those experiences cost money. So if I had to, because I'm all about domestic. I'll stay home, hot, what they say, hot plate, cold beer, warm vagina. I'm all about that.
Ooh,
But
Lord have mercy.
to my children, That's what but when it comes to my children and giving them a leg up in society, I'm going to go to work, not to go on a vacation, but to send my children to coding camp or let them go to Sylvan, not to keep them with the class, but to put them above the class. I'm gonna do that
part.
And that stuff costs
Well, I think
money.
that's a little different, Lolita, than what they're talking about. What
No.
you're doing? No. Wait, hold on. Lolita's what she's saying is she's going to do what she has to do to make sure her children have a better life. From what I'm gathering is, I want to be able to do this.
Ashley's crazy.
I want to be able to live this lifestyle. It's not coming from a place of, I want my kids to be in a position. It's more so, I want this. I gotta have it.
I'm
You know what
sorry.
I'm saying?
You're saying that
two single
you're saying
mothers
that 'cause
here
you
who are
don't
raising
know
their
me.
children.
Hold on.
You're saying that because you don't know me, and you
And you're
don't
saying that
know
because you don't know me.
right. You don't know the after
I'm only
school
taking-
activities my
Right.
children do and how much they cost that I
Exactly.
pay for. So
We
you're
pay
saying that because you don't
$400
know
just for
me.
tutoring per month. I pay $400
I'm only
for
taking
just
what
for
I'm only taking
additional
what I'm
tutoring per
hearing on
month.
this live right
And
now.
I work
know
from
I don't know
home.
you.
I'm home and I'm here for my kids. And I prepare meals and I cook for them every day. I do all the household things. And so you can't say that. And I work.
And also, I think, and what Olisa is saying is that she's going to be the domestic, she's going to be the woman at home, but that man needs to make enough money to afford their kids the lifestyle that she wants for her kids. You're going to have to be able to afford to have our kids a Mandarin tutor or someone that can give them experiences from the world, or however you want to phrase it. But she's still saying that he has to. She's not living in a podunk town with a dude and the
I'll say
children.
that either.
$32,000 a month. I mean, year.
Well, I didn't say that either.
Yeah, but the comment was that we would live not at poverty line, but just above poverty line. And I said, why should I be requested to live at below my standard right now? Right now, by myself, I'm able to provide a certain lifestyle for my children. I'm able to provide those things for my children.
Cool.
So why would I be asked to live below that?
Sparkling pink.
A man is supposed
Well,
to
I mean-
elevate my status, not bring me down.
I mean, that's all fine and okay. I mean, if that's that, but at the end of the day,
When a man is supposed to elevate you, the person you're supposed to be with is supposed to make you
Never gonna go
higher,
there.
not supposed to require for you to drop down a level.
You don't agree that the person you wish should elevate?
I didn't say that.
I'm
And I
asking.
think
But that's basically what we were saying, is that why should I live at a lower standard than I'm living right now? The
Right.
person I'm with should add to that. And because
Well,
we're
then
not
find
even
a man
saying
that-
that, we're
find
not
a man
even
that can
saying
do
that
that.
person has to
Everybody's
make
on
the
different
same
levels.
Find a
income.
man that can do that then.
right, everybody's on different levels. So
All right,
it might
fair.
be
Find
a
a man that can do
woman.
it.
It might be a woman that's making 10,000 a year who would say, ST3 is a come up. And that would be a good compliment. But somebody else who might be making 140,000 might need to have somebody a little bit higher than her. Not everybody's on the same level. So
True.
And he doesn't even need to be higher than me. He just needs to be self-sufficient.
right, but I'm just saying.
And then add to it.
Well,
Because it's a
all I said was go
one-time
find a man then. Go find a man that can do that.
Because say if I make 100,000 and I meet a man who makes 60,000, that's still adding. That's still adding value.
And that's paying more than the light bill.
But I think we
that's pretty
concluded
much
to
what I
the
like,
I think we concluded to the fact that the
Oh,
average
right.
man makes what 50,000, right? I think we
That's still
concluded to
adding
that,
to
right?
the that's still
Right,
adding.
and then
But I'm not
how
lowering
many?
my standard
What's
of
the
living.
percentage of men that make up to the amount that you guys are talking about?
11%.
11%. Okay.
I looked it up before.
And how many of I hate to
They
go
out
down
there.
this rabbit hole, but I mean it's the most logic rabbit hole to go down. But how many of those women want that men?
All of them.
All
I
of them.
think-
Okay,
I
so
don't-
they
I
got the
don't- I
choice.
don't know.
They got the choice. They got the choice of all the women that want them.
ST3
saying
saying
they don't.
ST3
Who
is
said they
saying why would they choose y'all? I think that's
basically.
I think that's not fair.
I
don't think
no,
that's
I
fair.
didn't say
But
that.
I
But
think every woman on this live is worth being chosen.
I
And if
didn't
I
say
could
that.
afford,
Those
if I
words
could
not come out
afford
my
it,
mouth.
if I could afford it, I have
It
all
was them.
5. But I think that the issue is, I think, with men and women and income. I don't think I'm gonna tell you some
We
old man.
see that watermelon swallow.
Some old man from the Bahamas told me
Squirrel.
he had 6 children, and he said once he had children, it was his responsibility to provide a home, lights, water for his children outside of his wife. He said at any given day, if she were to die, he would have had to provide for his children because those were his children. He had 6 of them. He said, and so he always worked hard and they lived at a level that he could afford because that was what he could do for his children and he wanted to maintain it without her. When she did work, when she wanted extra stuff, her money was used on extra stuff. And he was able to say, I ain't buying that now. But y'all are not saying that. Y'all are not saying that if a man can take care of what he can, y'all saying if he can't take care of the bare, not just the bare necessities, a decent life and all the extras and this, that, and the other.
That's not
That's
what they're
not, that's completely the opposite of what I said.
Oh, the two of them, because I'm not. They trying to contribute to the household. My work husband and my at-home husband is taking care of me.
Because I absolutely
Well, how you gotta work, husband? You don't go to work.
Money would pay for the additional stuff. That's what I said.
Wow.
That's legit what I said.
You're right.
That's
So,
legit
okay,
what I said.
my
I
thing
said,
is,
if
could
he's
you be
paying the bills in the house, then I can pay for the additional stuff. I can pay for the extra lessons for the kids. I can save for the vacations. I can save for the additional stuff that the children need. I can save for the birthday parties. I can save for all of that. But I am it's an additional income. But I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
so the
Because
man making
you're
50K is
basically saying
okay?
the same thing. He's providing the basics for them, and then basically she worked and she provided all the extra stuff.
So is the man making 50K okay?
I agree with that.
No,
I agree.
Ashley said no. Okay. What about you,
unless
Dr.
he has
Jackson?
savings. It's a no because of where I am today. That does not support my lifestyle, and I'm not selling my house for love. I'm not getting my car repoed for love. I'm not you can't afford me. And not in a bad way. I'm not saying you got to pay all my bills, but you can't afford to be with me. And that's
So what's the point
fine.
of you contributing then?
What's the point of
What's the
what?
point of saying what's the point of saying you're going to contribute if the person that is making that much
Contribute.
money, if that's then you're contributing to that, right? But that's not okay. Then what's the point of even
Say that again.
You heard what she said. She said she's not selling her house to lower her standard of living. That's what she said.
But I'm not going to go with you're making 50,000. You want me to quit my job? Well, stop working, close my business down, and raise the kids to your standard. I'm not doing that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, well, if you're the woman that wants to work and you're okay with contributing to what you guys got going on to maintain your lifestyle, right? Is the man that's making that significant less than what you're making, is that okay to be with for you?
No, because I'm not contributing to my lifestyle. He will have to be contributing to my lifestyle.
Oh, he has to be contributing.
Right, because in your scenario, if he makes less, he's the one contributing.
Right.
I can't contribute to something that's less.
Right.
Because my lifestyle is my life. Like the bills are the bills. If you're making less than that, you can't pay that. So I'm the one keeping us afloat, and you're contributing and getting us a little bit over. As long as you don't quit your job and you've been working on it for a good little while, I can be with somebody who makes. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Because if I get sick, I don't want to. Because if I have to go back to my mom's house, he can't go.
That's
So essentially, okay, well, Dr. Jackson, you answered this then. You answer that. Is the man that's, if you're contributing, whatever you're making, is the man that's making the average amount of money, is that okay? Or are you with Ashley on her
pay my
point
mortgage because I paid a big down payment on my house.
What you said now?
The average salary can pay my mortgage.
So is that okay?
Sure, if he's contributing, yeah.
So the guy making average money, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mortgage is $2,000 a month.
I don't want to live the average lifestyle though.
Why
No,
not?
but I didn't say I'm quitting my job.
Brandy don't know what she
No,
want to do. Brandy don't know
she's
the word.
contributing.
I'm
No,
confused for work.
yeah, she's contributing.
I
It's
know
just
I
she's
don't.
gonna be contributing a lot more than he is. But they're still contributing. I'm just asking: is the average man, the average money, is that okay for you?
Do I control the spending if I make more, or if I'm the sole breadwinner? Do you ask me, can you spend $1,000?
My
JC,
my thing is, okay, we put all the money together, and then the leftover we split it.
Girl, you bet you a bad woman because if we ain't putting it
If we
together.
married, it's if we married and we get divorced, he gonna go with half of it anyway, right?
I
And then we talking. Let me hush, because all right,
And
God
then
bless.
Brandy, yeah, you said you can't live the average lifestyle. Why?
in my
No.
previous expenses, but I felt like because I'm a man, I even though my wife didn't work, after we paid all the bills, because that was my responsibility. After we paid all the bills, then we said, okay, you want to get your nails done? You still, even if you're a breadwinner
Yep.
and you pay the bills, you still have to cater to your wife for those kind of things. You want to get your hair done, your nails done. I always came last with personal stuff. You know what I mean? But with that, I feel like, and maybe something wrong with me. My expectation from that type of woman is to almost be at my beck and call for everything that I want when I need you. I don't want, just like you go to your job and you run for your boss or your clients or whoever. I think if a man is paying all the bills, a major majority of the bills, that his wife should be on call for whatever he has need of. I don't
It's a
and I'm
job.
not. Yeah, I think that she 1,000% should. I don't see
I
how a woman
think
gets away
No,
from that.
it's because it's a job.
I think
Jay.
that's within reason. If it's not abusive, if it's not, I get to have your body whenever I want it, no matter how. I think that that's abuse. But
Agreed.
I have an aunt who doesn't work, and her husband does work, and no matter what he wanted for dinner, that's what she makes. And I admire that. If he say he want pork chops, she makes pork chops. She is very present with his needs. But I feel like that's okay as long as it's not abusive. But that's just not for everybody because that's not for me.
Right. I couldn't be with somebody that's like drop
I
to your knees.
I struggle with
Brandy, I
that.
still want you to answer my question.
I don't know what was your question,
My
Lamar?
question, you said you can't live an average lifestyle. I said why?
Not
Why?
if there's an addition to. If it's
Why?
just me, sure I'll be. Why? Because I can be
Well,
alone and do average.
here's
What are
here's
you?
the
What are
thing.
you? What are you
Here's the
adding to
thing.
my
Here's the
life?
thing.
If
Here's
you,
the thing. And I'm gonna
you
just
want me to
be
answer
real
the
with
question?
everybody here.
Okay, so you don't want me to
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go
This
ahead.
is,
Finish the
this is
question.
the weekly ST. Tell them off ST3. He getting ready to
Well,
get
now I'm
called.
gonna just be honest with you. Who ain't nobody in this live living more than the average lifestyle. Okay.
You better watch your
Ain't nobody
mouth.
in this live
You
living
better,
anything more than an average lifestyle. We all live average lifestyles. You could be driving a Benz, you could be driving what you want. Everybody got a Benz, everybody got a BMW, everybody got a house, everybody got somewhere. Ain't nobody living above an average lifestyle. Okay, this is being real. We all
And
live
like I
average
said,
lifestyle.
so if you listen to what I said,
Go ahead.
that
I
comment
just
would
wanted
have
to say
been
that.
necessary,
Well,
but it
we
wouldn't
all
have
live
been
average
necessary
lifestyles.
because I just said I live an average life. I'm not trying to live an average life with somebody else. You're supposed to be adding to my life, just like I'm adding to your life. If you add, we are no longer the average. We are above average. That's just mathematical.
Okay, you
One
moved
plus
up
one
1 or
don't
2
equal
points.
one. One plus
You
one
moved
don't
up 1
equal
or 2
one.
points. Yeah, it equal 2. That's one more than
Right.
one.
That's not the
1
average.
plus 1 is 2, but that's one more than one. That ain't make a dent in anything.
I'm sorry. I thought we discussed the average salary for a person in the U.S.
It don't even
No,
matter.
I thought we had discussed that.
I think this is scary, but to hear Ashley say that that doesn't work for everybody, because to me that seems like you mentioned that your aunt has that, and she had certain meals that she cooked because he was the breadwinner. I think what you're really saying is, I'm not doing that. Even if he is the breadwinner, even if he does pay all the bills,
She did.
I'm not cooking, I'm not sitting home. So my question would be, how can you have these demands that a man is supposed to be the breadwinner, but you don't want to be a woman that's gonna cook and stay home with the kids.
But
You
remember,
ain't.
she said that already. She said that she was not the type of person to stay home.
So
She said that.
answer for Ashley, or did she hire you to be a doctor and a lawyer?
I hired her because I live an above average life and I can afford it.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like no, I didn't say I want him to be the breadwinner. I never said that.
Ashley, you can cook for a man. You can cook for a man that a man makes $300,000 a year, take care of all your needs. You can cook whatever he wants.
No, I'm not doing that. And
Yeah,
you want to know why I'm not doing that? Because I don't like to cook. I don't like to cook. If you're making 300,000 and I'm bringing in my salary, we can hire a chef as long as you're eating right.
What? No, that's I. What if a man wants his wife to cook? This is why.
I'll cook it and
This
make
is
it like
why.
you
This
did.
is
A man might want a man. I might marry a man, and he might want me to have a big old butt. It ain't gonna pop out of nowhere. If they ain't got it, they ain't got it. I don't cook. So I'm not for every. I'm not for every man. And every man ain't for me. Then that's okay.
Let's say that about men.
That's fair.
Let's
We
say
have to
that
be able to say that.
Let's say that about men. Let's say that about men, though. So that means we can't argue with Tyler Perry's statement then, because some women are okay taking care of man, and everybody's not for everybody. Problem solved.
That's it. I mean, no, that's true.
He made it a blanket statement. He made it a blanket statement for all. So that's how we can argue with what he said. And the fact that y'all are hung up on a woman being your slave and at your beck and call. And always
call it slave.
Bills. Hold on, let me finish. And then you're upset or like, oh, that's scary that you don't want to cook if he's making 300,000. Like, come on, no, people, not everybody gonna do everything, and especially not for no bum.
If literally if a man
light bill,
if a man can't get a cooked meal,
you can. I heard a chef.
Or
she looked just like me too.
You know what happened with the chef?
You might actually, you know,
he's gonna take the chef to the bedroom. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby with him. That's why he had a baby.
Oh,
they had a baby.
No, that's not why he did.
If a man,
why he did it then? Why he did it then?
If a man can't get a home cooked meal, and I understand what y'all saying that a man can't have expectation of a woman's body if it's abusive. I hear what y'all saying, because I'm not saying you lose right to your body because you're married, but I'll tell you what scares me about that. If a man who's doing everything right and making all the money, and you don't have a legitimate reason to say no to him when it comes to sex, I don't know how he could abuse that, because whatever he asked for in normal bounds, I ain't saying, but what if he asked for sex? I don't understand how he could ever be wrong for asking for sex from his wife.
I'm wondering why he even got to ask.
I think it's wrong because the expectation of the man's mindset. For y'all to say that because I bring in all the money, that I want her to cook and I want her to do this. Hold on, I want her to cook. I want her to give her body when I say give it to me. But then on the flip side, you say if I don't work and she makes more than I do, oh, she bruises my manhood and you bring my ego down, and as a man who's been incarcerated and no degree, it's hard out there for me. But you want me to sit there and say, you're a man, let's go, yay, yay, yay. But then when I don't work, you belittle me. You don't care that I don't want to do it when you want to do it. You don't care that you want me to have certain qualifications as cooking or whatever. But when you don't do it, you want me to, again, champion you, build you up. And that goes back to the original narrative that a black woman has to not only support you, but she has to support herself as well. So when you're down, I have to be mindful. I'm walking on eggshells. I can't tell you, well, you know what? I worked all day. Why you ain't clean up? Why the house look like this? Because that will bruise your ego.
No one said manhood. No,
you said at the beginning.
No. I didn't say that a man who was not making as much or who was being taken care of shouldn't cook, shouldn't clean, and do all. I didn't say that. I don't think anyone said that.
You said that we should be careful of your ego and your manhood. You did say that.
That is true, but that's both of those things.
But you can't take that for the entire population.
Yeah, both of those things.
Both of y'all are saying the same thing.
I didn't say that at all. No way.
Give it up when I say give it up. She needs
I ain't
to
saying
be
about bruising my ego,
cleaning and getting the children.
Nothing.
I don't understand how a woman. I don't understand how a woman could expect a man to pay. This is why a lot of men are not seeking marriage. This is why a lot of men. This is literally why this is why a lot of men are not seeking marriage, and a lot of them are finding a woman who's working. She lives by herself. She got her own thing. He come through. He may help her with a bill or two, get on top of her and go home, and she happy to see him. And this is scary to think that a man who even is the breadwinner and doing everything right has to look at a chef cook for him. I think that it is disrespectful as a man. I'm rebuking you now, Ashley.
Well, I don't think. I'm not gonna go as far and say that it's scary.
Let me talk.
Well, I'm not gonna go as far and say that it's scary. But what I will say.
Let him finish.
He wasn't done yet.
No, he wasn't.
Do you hear all these people telling you to
go ahead? You finish.
Listen,
I think all the damn time.
Right. I can. Don't you see me hosting? And I think as a man to hear that even if you are a breadwinner, you have to not just be a breadwinner, you have to be a breadwinner of a bread box. You have to be a super breadwinner. And even if you are a super breadwinner, the best you can get from me is some other woman or man cooking for me. I think that even with that, and the best you can get from me is sex when I feel like it. Why would a man what benefit would a man, and I feel like Kevin Samuels, what benefit would a man, especially if that woman has children,
I'm no benefit to you. But you know what? Other people on this live, Lolita, Brandy, I don't know about Dr. Jackie, but all of them cook and they like to cook. That's who you would want then. I'm no benefit to Gerard, and I'm no benefit to Stelson. I am no benefit to y'all. Pick somebody else.
I agree with what Ashley said earlier. Ashley said she ain't for everybody. Ashley said what she said earlier. She's not for everybody. And the thing that but at the same time, women can't get upset. And you see it happen a lot. You're gonna find a man. It's up to a man to find a wife. When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, obtains favor from the Lord. So you find your wife. It don't matter what she look like.
So hold on.
If she's your skin color or not, you find a wife. Because God ain't never said marry black. God ain't never said marry white. God ain't never said marry whatever. He said find a wife. So I think that's what we're gonna see more of. But conversation is gonna be
what you just said.
My complaint with this whole argument is that because Ashley doesn't cook, she's not wife material. That's what
I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all. That's
because
not what
she said she'll get a chef.
That's not
if
not
she's
what I
not
said.
cooking, she's gonna use the resources to find that to get that done. So I'm trying to understand, the issue because not every woman can cook. Not every woman.
Not only am I not going to get married,
Gerard was there talking about, I better not be getting hamburger helper all the time or pasta more time of the week. If she made the effort to cook, it's a home cooked meal, so it shouldn't matter, right?
It's like
well, once again, you can't take. Well,
hold on, Lolita, you were saying
they want us to live in fear. I mean, I'm domestic goddess over here, but the fact that I'm gonna get a white woman, or we gonna go to this girl and lay up with her, and then go, y'all better do this and lower your sense and stuff like that. Like we're not gonna live like that. We're not gonna live like that. We don't want to share you. We want you to provide. We want certain things. And just because Ashley doesn't want to cook, I mean, she don't want to cook.
That doesn't make her any less of a woman. And that doesn't make her any less of a wife.
I didn't say that either. I didn't disagree with what Ashley said, and I didn't disagree.
Like trying to get us to be all fearful about y'all going to freaking.
She's never
No, I'm not. It's not about fear. There's nothing. No.
We get it all the time from every freaking corner of the freaking earth. It's like I'm so sick of it.
Right. And I wanted to say, I'm sure there's some things that y'all men don't do for us that y'all are hiring somebody else to do. So because she want to hire a chef to come out and cook, that should be no problem. Long as you're eating a healthy meal, a nutritious meal, it doesn't matter because you don't change your oil, you don't change oil, you don't do everything, what men.
Plumber, electrician.
You'll hire someone to go do
grass.
it. If you're too tired to cut the lawn, guess what? You're gonna hire somebody to come cut the lawn.
But they want to
like washing the car. You're gonna take it to the car wash. You're gonna pay to take it to a car wash. Long as it's done.
Right. It's like it's ridiculous what a black woman have to do in this society to be deemed desirable. Get out of here. If you don't want us, then you don't want us.
Lolita, I don't know what it was about the way you said get out of here. I almost clicked in the stream just again. I thought you said,
but I agree with Sensuela. There are a lot of things that men don't do. Gerard ain't never cut my grass. But you watch Charlie do it. You ain't never say, what, let me get that grass. No. But my point is that I'm just saying you can't. Y'all are not around here doing all of the manly duties.
Not checking.
But then now, and I agree. It is fear baiting. It is a form of trying to make us afraid that we're gonna lose something, compromise. And that goes back to Tyler Perry. Get him even if only he paying the light bill. You better get him and do your part. If you feel like you want to go lay out with Molly, Heather, and Pamela, because I don't want to cook, go lay out with Pamela and eat your unseasoned chicken,
unwashed too.
Unwashed.
I know y'all been watching them TikToks. They've been seasoning their chicken lately now.
Yeah,
unwashed.
Go feed the girl under your bed.
I got some hot Cheetos for her.
And cooking is the least of y'all. I mean, y'all.
I literally said that
like
Ashley is valid to be where she wants to be with that. I literally said
that. You said that. You said, Ashley's not for everybody. So he'll just go get another woman of a different race. That was your sentence. That was your sentence.
And that's why I got upset with your response, because I said just because Ashley doesn't cook, now she's not a good for any black man.
Right.
No, that's not what I said.
What the interpretation was.
That's not what I said though.
All right.
It's not what I said.
What is it? I
highly doubt Beyonce is around here making home cooked meals. But in the words of Beyonce, let me upgrade.
How you know you in Beyonce house?
I am an upgrader.
Beyonce did say she has a chef. They also have 6 nannies.
Exactly.
Oprah not cooking.
But you don't know what Beyonce got going on at her house. She don't tell you.
She said it.
She don't cook or clean.
She can say whatever she want to say. She also said single ladies, but she booed up with Jay-Z. So
that was a song. She's okay. She has documentary.
She was talking about single ladies.
Yeah, she has audience that are single. So of course she's gonna adhere to her fans.
Right. Okay.
And that's like y'all.
But listen, you taking note from people who they sell.
That's like men saying if a woman can't put her legs behind her head, I don't want it. That's just ridiculous. Y'all just making that's y'all going out there.
I'm talking about bare necessities,
but you're eating
their expectations from a female, and maybe this is for me. Even if you cannot cook, I do believe it's your responsibility to provide food. I think there is something that men get from their woman putting a plate in front of them, whether she's ordering it or whatever. He don't like to think. He don't want to come home and have to think about.
You literally just said it's an insult if she's not cooking. You literally made this big deal.
Are you gonna let me finish? My point was, if a man is doing all of the work, you mean to tell me you home?
Wait a minute.
You can't watch a YouTube video and put a recipe together. I find that hard to believe.
You legit just
it's hard to watch a YouTube video when I was taking a nap. I was asleep. What you talking about? Watch a video.
So would you go 1 meal a month? Would you be satisfied with that? Long as you're getting something?
Mm-mm.
Wait, if 1 meal a month and what standard of like am I paying all the bills?
Well, we know what you feel like. She got to drop to her knees as soon as you get to the house.
That's
she don't-
confirmed.
No, that's that. Well, before I even get to the driveway,
The thing is,
already
Well,
be
if I
there.
decide to date a female that don't know how to cook, then that's on you. Because obviously you're gonna ask that question at first, early on in the relationship or the relationship anyway. So if you decide you want to indulge in that, that's on you. You can't blame nobody else but you. If she told you she don't cook, nor clean, that's on you.
Too. I do. Whoever you are, I love you. Marry me.
Yeah, but it's the husband's job to provide. He bring home the bacon, but somebody got to fry it.
If somebody wanted the definition of wife, and I pulled it up, it says a married woman considered in a relationship to her spouse and the wife of a person with a specific occupation.
Oh, you can't look up the Webster's Merriam Dictionary.
I'm just saying they said they wanted to look up the
Y'all gonna go look up y'all gonna go look up dictionary version of what's a wife.
So what
That's
dictionary?
what they asked.
So please let us know. Indulge us.
Where would you get a definition from if it's not the dictionary?
Right, that's what
I would really love to know.
Where would you get it from?
Come from?
Yeah.
Please do.
Open up your Bible. It's in there.
And then
so Genesis,
it says a woman.
Can you give me the page?
I agree with Ashley already.
What Ashley said?
I don't know. She ain't said nothing, but I agree already.
Right, because you talking about
go read Proverbs 31.
This your third. I was just about to say it's your third
Go read
time.
Proverbs 31.
It's
Go read
okay,
Proverbs
4 times
31.
saying Proverbs 31.
Yep,
it also says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. And the Bible also defines inheritance as houses and riches. How many houses do you own, sir?
That he's not talking about his
person. So you want to hold you to the standard. Proverbs 31 woman. Proverbs 31 woman. Get your game up according to the Bible. Get your game up according to the Bible, and then you tell me what I need to be doing. Yeah. Because right now I'm the virtuous woman and the man of valor.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We're waiting for that.
Go ahead
a Proverbs 31 woman was not a stay-at-home wife.
Go ahead and have that.
No, I don't have it. That's what the Bible says. You keep referring to the Bible. We have to take the
it.
whole totality of the word, not picking and choosing when it doesn't define you. Let's talk about what defines you as a man.
That's good.
That's what the Bible says.
Not a Christian.
An inheritance.
All right. Well,
my microphone
she took only the inheritance, but okay.
No, you took only Proverbs 31.
No, that's what you took, but I'm the one picking. I'm the one picking and choosing things, right? But okay.
You mentioned Proverbs 31.
I digress.
I digress. But you don't even own a chisel.
I digress.
I'm gonna be fair. Okay,
you can digress.
So what other definitions biblically do you have as a wife? Because if we're picking and choosing, Proverbs 31 is a pick and a choose. So are there other definitions in the Bible that define what a wife is? I do like this comment that is everybody a Christian? Well, I like that. I agree. That's for you, Stelson.
I think a woman should be submit to her husband.
You got to get Bible, Stelson, now. Because we can't use Webster, we can't use Stelson. You got to get, you said Bible.
Please read the whole verse about submitting.
Because it also talks about
you want me to go look it up? I'll go look it up.
No, you ain't got to look it up. Tag me. If you tag me, I got you right here, homie. Just tag me.
Okay, go ahead, preacher. Go ahead, pastor. Go ahead, pastor.
You're gonna let these people kill you, Stelson. You talking to these women like they broke. You talking to these women like they broke, dumb, and in sin. You don't know these.
I don't think that.
These are smart, educated missionaries. Don't let that red lipstick fool you. Ashley look like a woman at the night, but she's a woman that walks in the light.
Amen. Amen.
Now,
don't let it fool you.
Come on now.
Go ahead.
It says submit one another.
Who said that?
Tasia.
Thank you.
What Tasia said?
Let me call Tasia because that ain't in there.
It says
because people love to say the whole women submit to your husbands, but they forget the rest of the verse.
Right. Husbands, love your wives as you love yourself.
Tasia, log on.
And no, as Christ loved the church.
As Christ loved the church, yes.
But it also says
that means whether she can cook or not. You don't get to pick and choose.
Well, that's your, but that's your wife, yeah. So if you chose the woman that can't cook,
I'll say
You,
this.
you still love her.
I once was young and now I'm old. I've been a breadwinner and I've been a bread eater. And I just think we all should. I think people should have conversations that are meaningful about their expectations. But I do believe that men in America as a whole have softened their stance. But I also believe that a lot of it is because, and I'm not
They have
saying that
softened their stance.
right, they're not in place in a lot of areas in
They're out of
provision,
I agree.
alignment.
I
and they're
agree.
out of alignment.
Oh, okay.
But I do also believe, and I'm not blaming women, so it's
We're
not.
also out of alignment. Don't get me wrong.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not one of those guys that say, well, he can't stand in this place because you standing there. But I will say this: so many women have been raised by women who were standing in that place that the woman, she don't even know she's in a man's place. She's in a place of survival because that's where she is. And if you're not careful, you won't know it until it's too late. And I think that men should work better on being better men, and women should work better on doing everything. Good
I
night.
feel like if men work better on being
Bless
men,
you.
okay, bye. I feel like men work better on being men, then they can help their woman be a better woman for them.
I think it's a common situation where when a man isn't living up to his manhood, somehow it's the woman and her what she's doing is wrong. And I think that this is
Exactly.
age old story that goes back to the very beginning, Adam and Eve. Men have not just become in a place where they are not in their position. You've
Now,
been
Ashley,
doing it.
woke up the teacher in Ashley.
You sure did.
In the words of
I mean,
Lisa
I agree.
Domingo,
I
You've
agree.
been doing it. So it's
hey,
not
I
our
agree.
fault. It's not the
I agree.
modern woman's fault
Swell,
that
in the
you
words of
lost
Lisa
your
Domingo,
footing.
I'm up now.
Hold on. It's not the modern woman's fault that you lost your footing as a man. It's been that way. Level yourself up, blame yourself, and stop blaming other people.
Nope.
If there's a woman out there
And
who
when I
wants
say other people, I mean black women.
there's a man that just got back on his horse. If there's a woman out there who wants to ride with him, inbox me.
Man.
Anyway,
I agree. I agree with what Ashley just said. It started from the beginning. I think I've made that point clear a couple times since I've been attending these lives. Yeah, you can go ahead and research it, Brandy, because
oh no,
I know
you
you
don't
can.
like me. Don't call me out because you know
I
I
know. No,
like
I know you go back and watch. So I've
man,
said it. I've said
you
it
don't want
before.
to call me
I've
out. Don't
said it.
do that
No,
today.
go ahead. Go
Do that
research.
today
I
because
said it
you know you
before.
don't like when people go back. You don't like when people go
No,
back.
go ahead and
on
go
you.
back. I know I said it.
Anyway,
I know
continue,
I said it.
continue.
Anyways, but no, I
Yeah,
agree. I
my
think it was from the very beginning.
Never. Oh, I ain't
Then it's just been an inherent thing from that point on. It's just we've been out of place, and it's just gotten progressively worse.
Thank God for these umbrellas.
I think it would be nice for men, black men in particular, to ask a black woman, "What did you do to elevate?" Instead of trying to make us come down, figure out how to come up.
And there
No,
are a
like
lot of
one
black women out here who are not
the average
afraid.
lifestyle that they live.
Yeah,
They want
and don't try to discourage a woman from being a supportive partner. Like if we say we want to work, why are you trying to discourage us if we're trying to help to elevate our status? Instead of trying to combine and elevate, you want us to lower. And I don't think that that's a good idea.
That's a good point.
Well, I get that point, Dr. Jess, but I think that just depending on if we going in that direction as far as
Just
the
come
man and
down,
we
baby. Babe, come down for me, babe.
no, it's no. Come on, Gerard. Anyways,
Babe,
he want to live. He wanted to live the average
I can't
lifestyle.
reach you, babe.
no. That's not what I'm saying. I think that every man, whether he knows it or not, whether he's figured it out or not, whether he's identified it, has some purpose. We all have a purpose here in this world. There's something that we're getting to, whether we've decided that we're going to do it on our own selfish needs or whatever God put us here. That's what I truly believe. At the end of the day, we have a purpose, and with that purpose, there is an individual specific. There is a woman there to help you get to that purpose. So it's not necessarily a thing of you adjusting or coming down to a level, but it's so much more. Okay, this is the purpose that I have. This is what's been made clear in my life to do. This is the direction I'm going in. I have chosen you because I see you. I see you for the person that can, for us to get to that purpose. But in order to do that, somebody has to lead, somebody has to follow, because that's the direction we have to go in. So it's not necessarily, oh, okay, you're
That's good.
decreasing yourself. It's much more you're going in the direction that that person is going in. And I think oftentimes what happens is that, well, first and foremost, I say most men don't know their purpose. Like I said, haven't identified it or even cared to even think or have done the work to know what their purpose is in this life. They're living a purpose that they've created in their own head. We've all been there. Some of us grow out of it. Some of us never do. Right.
Whether
I think that I don't think that men are the only ones with purpose, and your purpose doesn't trump my purpose. For it to
Mhm.
be, we need to combine, and I'm the head, and we're gonna follow my purpose. No, that's not what marriage is. Marriage is you have a calling, and I have a calling. You have a purpose, I have a purpose, and I'm gonna help you elevate in God, and you help me elevate in God. It's not me forsaking my identity and everything about me to build you up
Because
and
the
to follow
man,
your purpose and to just be on
man,
the train of you. No, that's not the definition of marriage.
that's
I,
not.
That's
I
not the definition of a biblical marriage either. No, we're both in this.
I think for me, and I'm not going to touch that statement, but I think for me, I need a woman. I need a woman. I'm like Adam when he woke up and he was surrounded by monkeys, and the scriptures say there was not a helpmeet suitable for him. God put him back to sleep and made Eve. There was something that Adam was lacking. He had a job, he had an assignment, he had a purpose,
Hello.
he had monkeys and elephants, lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh
Oh my.
my.
He had all of that. But when he looked around all of that,
Yep.
there was something missing. I think we do diminish the value of a woman. I don't think Adam would have been able to navigate being kicked out the garden if it wasn't for Eve. Even in that crisis and in that moment, Eve still had to go with Adam because they call it the fall of man and say that it didn't fall until man did it because he was the one that had the instructions. Well, why did Eve have to go with him? Because even outside of the garden, Adam needed a woman. And so I think that she can't, if the only thing she can build is within me and from me, she's not helped because I can do that within myself. So I do think that women do have a responsibility as a helpmeet to be that person to say, no, let's not. And that sounds like leadership to a weak man, but good advice is only weakness to a weak, or good advice is only control to a weak man. So I think that there is a definitely a case that women are not have value, but are invaluable to the life of it.
And
I
I
don't
think
disagree.
society as a whole recognizes the contributions of Black women. We just don't get the credit. And I went to a conference this weekend. I had to work it, and there were the people in leadership positions and who were influential in making changes in law. And they asked them, what was your inspiration? The Hispanic woman said Black women. The man said Black women. Everybody goes back to Black women. The way we fashion, looks, talk, across the board, Black women are shaping it. We just don't get the credit. And I feel like, yeah, Black men do us a disservice, and you do yourself a disservice when you discredit us and devalue us and try to fear bait us
For
to
sure.
do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I agree for sure.
Right. You do yourself instead of because we can birth great things. We raise great men and great women. And instead of letting us combine and doing it as a group, you want us to
Make
die
ourselves
to
smaller.
ourselves.
Hmm.
And that goes against nature. That goes against our nature. I'm not dying, and like I said, and I hate to go back to me, but I love to go back to me. I'm not for everybody. I want somebody, a strong man who knows where he's going, who sees the value in me and the things that I bring to the table. It might not be a home cooked meal, but you're gonna eat, and you're gonna eat great. So I think the priorities are a little bit off.
Yeah, because my thing is to piggyback off of what Ashley is saying. I thought the ultimate goal was for us to build together. So whether that looks like okay, like for example, Lolita said she will go ahead and do the stay at home wife thing, but a woman can make $1 out of 50 cents. She can make $10 out of 50 cents, right? And just like for example, Ash and I said that we would like to work. So why can't we use that and combine it and elevate ourselves? Because I thought the ultimate goal was to create generational wealth for our kids.
When Proverbs 31, work with her hands.
Mhm. Yeah. This is completely off topic, but I meant to say this earlier. Another thing a man at work don't like, change your clothes. Don't when you in pajamas when he go to work, don't let him come home and catch you in the same pajamas. Your hair back in a ponytail, you got your bonnet on, your same clothes. Don't nobody want that. Even if you're not gonna be on your knees like ST3 said, at least be out of your pajamas when you come home. Put that in your pipe, and that's for my ex-wife that's watching. I got to go. God bless y'all.
You said it already. Bye. He's still here. Go that way. Anyway.
Oh, he was serious.
Yes, thank the Lord.
Is some play better than no play?
I must stick with my answer, yeah, and especially if he only got $50,000, all you getting is someplace with me. It ain't gonna be the full ball game. I'll laugh with you, but I'll be afraid that you're gonna go broke. We couldn't even do nothing. What we gonna do?
Right, in your savings, what you have in your savings is important.
I don't think he'll go broke because I think you'll be more encouraging and pushing him to elevate himself.
I'll just.
You'll be supportive,
I sure will be.
as we all are.
Because most of the times when a man is motivated to make any change, it's usually for a woman.
Yeah, we said that in the last time. Right.
And I want to say when I got married, we had about $200 to our name together. So I don't mind the grind and the elevating as long as he has a mind to do it. Like we had the mind to do it. And by the time it was over, we had accumulated quite a little bit. But it's just you got to be willing to work with it.
Oh, Oscar.
I was gonna say that too. What, Brandy? Huh?
You're on mute, Brandy.
I didn't hit like it was supposed to.
You said what?
I said that didn't hit like it was supposed to.
Aren't you just a bunch of misses, huh? I said don't matter. It don't matter. Go ahead. Because you said
What was you gonna say?
Think the same thing.
I'm gonna wait because I wanted Gerard the answer too. So
you said what?
I said I'm gonna wait because I wanted Gerard the answer too, but he gone. He there?
No, he gone.
Oh.
But what was the question? We ain't gonna be on that much longer now.
No, that's why I'll wait until whenever deemed necessary.
Lolita, is some play better than no play?
I'm with Ashley. Whatever she said, verbatim. If you're making 50,000, we can hang out. But that's it.
How y'all gonna know that though? Did you gonna go to his house?
Cause
some people be rich and just live poor.
If you cheat, because I don't even ask
and live cheap.
If you're cheap, if you have a lot of money and you're cheap with me, I don't ask for a lot because I don't value like purses and all that stuff. You gotta pay my bills or nothing like that. So if I ask for a glass of wine and you too cheap to get it for me, we can't do that. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. If you're not willing to do certain things that I want, then that's we can't.
Consistent effort.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, cheapness ain't gonna work.
I can't stand cheapness.
If you can't afford it, then you shouldn't be dating.
And
That
I
part.
and I think that you can't. Sometimes you can't tell because I date this guy in college, and when we broke up, and he found out I was dating somebody else, he called me and he was yelling, and he said, I went in debt for you," and because we were going out to eat, we was going to I used to love Olive Garden. We was going out to eat all the time. He's like, "I went in debt for you, and I ain't never want to hit nobody with my car like I want to hit you with my." I was like, "Whoa!"
Wow.
And I'm like, "Well, how? I didn't know you was
Girl, you
broke."
can't put it on them like that.
Because he was charging it to the game. No one asked you
Man,
to do that.
that man want to run you over with his car.
With
What
a
you got with that man?
So you might not know today if you broke, but like Nene said, you can hide being hungry, but you can't hide being homeless.
Mm.
It'll come out.
Facts. That's real. He said he would have hit you.
Yeah, he said that to me. I'm still watching my back every time I cross the street. that was 16 years ago. Heck nah.
Why did it take you so long? I'm like, let's go. Did anybody want to add anything else onto the? We talked Jeezy. We talked. I'm about to cut him in. Donald Trump. What's his name? Tyler Perry.
I'm gonna send y'all a link. Well, the ones I got the address for. I want y'all to take a look at it. But it's a guy on there talking about how a man shouldn't date if he's not financially stable. I'm talking about
Oh,
he is
yeah.
going
Was
in.
that from Hardly Initiated?
Mm-mm.
Facts.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about. I sat down and watched the whole thing, and he is hilarious.
I don't think
But
you
he
should date.
is.
I don't think you should date if you can't afford it. If you can't afford to date somebody, then just it's okay. Chill at home. It's okay.
And I think it's a better look to be able to say, you know what, I can't afford to do all of this because I'm saving to get here. I can respect that
I
For
can't.
sure, for life.
versus you trying to pretend like you got it and charge us up to the game. I would prefer a
And then
man
want to
say,
hit
you know
you with
what,
a
let's
car.
not do that. Let's do this because I'm trying to save for this. Then I'm
I have
like,
a
okay,
question
see,
about that.
you could, that's workable for me.
Yes.
Well, I have a question about that. What's the point of dating to you, ladies? Like, what's the point of dating?
Dating is collecting data.
And point.
Collecting data. Okay.
I think at this stage in my
So,
life,
That's
dating
where
is
you
just
ask all the serious questions. That's when you try to find out who this person is. You getting data. You trying
so
to
can't you do
find.
that?
You trying to
You
learn
can't do
about each
that.
other.
You can't do that with a walk in the park. It's not considered a date.
That's
yeah.
dating.
Nobody said you have to spend an exorbitant amount of
You're
money
not
on a
walking the
date.
park every day. That's not gonna happen.
Nobody said that a date had to be expensive.
Right.
Right, because we said that in another live.
We did.
I said I would prefer riding in the car before going out to a restaurant. I would prefer
Or go
those
get me ice cream. Get me a
talking.
bit of ice cream.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Okay.
Well, how many dates before it has to be the kind of date you're like? I'm perceiving that you're all talking about.
Which
What
is what going out to eat.
What is the car? What is the type of date you talking
Well,
about?
because you're the what I'm hearing is a man shouldn't be dating if they can't afford the date, right?
Okay, so what is the purpose of? What is the ultimate purpose of dating? What is the ultimate purpose?
Well, I mean, to identify the person is the right person that you want to continue down this path with. Ultimately, I
Okay,
mean, for
but
me personally, it's marriage.
exactly. Now, in a state of marriage, right? You're dating for marriage. So, what are we doing as far as when we get married? Where are we living? Are you making enough to take care of your own bills and stuff? That's what we're getting to. If you don't have enough money to take care of yourself, then you should not be dating. That's what we're saying.
And well, I'm saying even on a basic level, if you
Yeah.
don't have money, because if even if we're just riding around in a car, if you don't have money to pay for the gas, then you shouldn't be doing that. If it's going to get ice cream and you don't have the money to get the ice cream, if you can't get me a gelati from Jeremiah, I just got to get the ice. You shouldn't be going.
That's what I'm trying to get to. What's the
Yeah, no,
standard?
you just shouldn't be going. Period. If you don't have the funds, don't try to do it if you can't do it. And I'm a believe if I ever got married again, I know a lady. She owns a funeral home, and she said if she got married, she's older. She's like in her 60s, probably knocking on 70. She said she would not bring him into her house. He would have to get a house and bring her into the house. I'm with that. I don't care what kind of house I have. You get a house, or we'll get a house together, and we'll move into that house.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not moving into this house.
Are you gonna
Right.
sell? Are you gonna sell the house you got now?
And won't
No, I'm gonna put it up for rent.
I'm gonna rent
You
it.
gonna okay? Would
rent
that
Airbnb
would
stuff.
the rent money and the money that's the profit from that, would that go into the joint account or no?
Negative.
No, did you help with the mortgage? Did you help with the down payment of this house? And you didn't. And so, but this money
Wow.
will not. No, seriously. In all honesty, to my next husband out there watching, this money will not go into a joint account. Whatever comes, it will go into account for my children. Though they will be the benefit. They will
Yeah,
benefit.
my house goes to
I
nothing.
won't take
What's the point of getting
anything
married
from
then?
it. All of my girls will get it.
You said what's the point of getting
You
married?
want to get married so that you can have
Yeah.
my house.
That's
No,
what
it's not
you-
about
that's
having
what
a
you want?
but if
It's to-
two become
It's to
one,
build together.
if you still
So
if,
when
if
we
it
get
still
together
becomes
is
one,
what
you're
we
living
have
you're still
together.
living separately.
So just
You're
pretend,
technically
since
still
no, a
living
lot of men like to say that a woman's money don't matter. So therefore, this house that I owned prior shouldn't matter to you either.
And I think it's intent. I bought this house with the intent to give it to my children.
Children.
I bought
Exactly.
this house with the intent to pay it off, that if something happened to me, my children will not be a burden to whoever takes them.
And that's
So I'm going to continue with that intent, and I will hope. I would have married a guy who didn't understand that before, because we would talk about that before we got married.
either.
And if he's not on board with that, if he doesn't understand that, then he's not for me. I'm not, because I'm not for everybody.
Right.
But
That's fair.
whatever this house generates after we move in together will be divided between my children, and it will continue to grow for them. And that's that. I'm not compromising on that.
I mean that's fair.
And I would respect it if he did that. If he had children and he said, "Well, this both of them, yeah, okay, got it."
We should get something together. I don't
Right.
I don't agree with a man moving into a woman's house. Because let me tell you, the worst feeling and the worst emasculation that can happen is if a bad argument happens.
She tell you get out of the house. Yeah, I get it. I mean,
Or
Don't
she
put
tell
yourself
you
in that
my
situation.
ex-husband
Would you move into a woman's house? Would you move into your woman's house?
would I move in? No.
Because that's the worst thing that could happen.
I don't know if it's the
Even
worst
if it's
thing.
his
This ain't
house,
happening
it's
with
the
me.
same thing.
You said what?
What was that?
Ash,
What
what you
happened,
say?
Ash?
No, I said I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it honestly for his sake, because I wouldn't want it to be for my children. He moved into our space, but he loses a certain level of footing with them, because it technically is their space. I would want to move into a joint space, and now it's everybody's
It's our
space
space,
from
yeah.
the start. I would do that for his sake. As in addition to, I'm just this is for my children. Yeah. But I want him to be comfortable.
And my daughter's 5. She will definitely say what's on her mind. This is my mommy's house.
Mm.
Yeah.
As he stays in the room until they go to sleep.
Hopefully he's working.
No, he's just paying light bill. He good. Anybody have anything else? Anything fun they want to say?
No, this has been very informative.
I would say Black women stay encouraged. We got this.
And don't live with a scarcity mindset. Don't let
And don't
these men
settle for
convince you to live with a scarcity mindset.
Correct.
And you don't have to pay the mortgage. Fine. If a real man will do his part. Since Flo said she wanted to ask a question while you were here, he's back.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Oh, 36.
I thought you'll tell me.
36.
Okay, so my question is, and it might be off topic, but why when you with a man
Mhm.
and he's a certain way, you break up, he get with the next female,
My
and he's
God.
better, and he's doing more things, or he's coming home every night. He's not cheating, like he's doing better. Why is that?
I almost ended this chat. I'm pissed already with this question.
I've literally
Why?
I've had this conversation with three.
And I've heard an answer from another man for this too. Go ahead.
I've had this conversation with three different women since Sunday. Three completely different women who are not connected in any type of way. I've had this conversation with
They
them,
black,
and all of them were black.
they connected.
Two of them were married, and one of them just dated a guy for a long time. And I'll answer this in two parts, real short. The first part is, it's not that a woman builds a man and another woman gets the benefits from it.
That's what I feel like.
I think black women would free themselves if they didn't see that, and I'll tell you why. There's something, even if you had that man, he would not have been the way that he is. So by you being regretting the loss of him or who he is, you have to see that as a fairy tale and not the real him. Because the one he was with you was who he was with you, and the rest of it doesn't matter. It's almost like you take people
Amen.
who are married and a person dies, and they say, well, I don't see how you can move on after you were with somebody 50 years. Truth be told, the person in the ground don't know, don't care, has nothing to do with them. You have to take that responsibility off for you and not feel like you wasted. Because I guarantee you, if you had them in this year, I told a woman this week, in 2023, you still wouldn't have the man that she currently has. You would have the man that you left or that you were disappointed in. First
But
part.
why?
Second part, a man does two things that women will never understand, even if I tell you tonight. The first thing is he lies to the woman he loves for real.
I've heard that.
He lies to the woman he loves for real. When he's pulling up to his wife's house, he tells the side chick, hey, I'm pulling up home. Don't call or text me. I'll hit you in the morning on my way to work. The side chick goes to bed. She sleeps. She knows she's going to get a phone call tomorrow. He goes in the house and tell the wife, she said, I called you 5 minutes ago. You sent me the voicemail. Yeah, my brother called me. We was talking about the game. The second thing is, not only does he lie to the one that he loves, a man is his worst with who he feels more comfortable with. Y'all better write this down. You think that you think that you are building him for the next woman, and you did, but he didn't know it. The real issue is he lost what made him feel comfortable, what made him take his guard down, what he took for granted, and his desire not to lose again causes him to take everything that you complain about, that you thought went in one ear, not the other. Obviously it didn't, because he's manifested in the next, because he's now in survival mode. I can't have the one I want, so I'm going to do what it takes to keep the one I'm with. So it feels like that, but the indication that he didn't do it for you, he didn't get a haircut with you at all, and you always fussed about his hair being nappy, but he was comfortable enough around you. So he starts playing a role with her, and it just is the way it is.
I seen a thing. I don't know what movie I was watching,
Wait,
but the
wait,
guy.
real quick, Ash. Did you have a third one? Because you said three things. I think you said.
No,
If you
said
take-
No, he said two, but he
Okay,
gave
okay, keep going.
in the second one, he had two parts.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was
I
going to
heard
say
a
the
guy
same
say
thing for his answer, but go ahead.
in a movie, he said that he's scared with the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Who said
like
that?
what I can remember what it said. I can't remember. I can't remember where I heard it at, but I was and Gerard told me but I forgot what you said, but that just let let it go. Never mind.
So
Give
it's
me
gonna piggyback off of what Gerard said. Yeah, where another man, like where his marriage ended, And he was so scared not to mess up on the second one, to lose that a second time. So then he worked extra hard on the things. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with somebody else, where it's just like the other woman, not necessarily a better woman or anything like that, but he's trying so hard not to screw up the second time. Because when men go through a divorce, right, it's considered a failure, right? A lot of men consider divorce a major failure.
Yeah, so do women.
No, I get it,
Oh, okay.
but most divorces are filed by women. When a man, because of the fact that a man is supposed to be a leader in his household, he's responsible for keeping that family together, the family structure together. When that marriage fails, he takes that as a major failure. So when he does choose to get into another relationship, he's going to try doubly hard. So that's why a lot of times it will seem like he's giving that woman the person that his ex-wife never got.
So then my question is, why doesn't he acknowledge to the previous chick how she benefited him? Because they'd be quick to
They're
be
not
like,
together no more. No point.
Does he owe her that anymore?
I was just going to say, men don't provide women closure, and
Yeah.
closure
for
they do that intentionally. The reason men don't provide women closure, you can take a good woman that you messed up, and because she didn't take your abuse or your bad behavior, you internalize that as she has become an enemy. And most men know that women thrive on closure. I'm giving you all the secrets tonight. And he may not acknowledge that to you because in some way, in a sick way, you're held captive by the fact that you didn't get closure. And a lot of women don't know.
My closure came when I changed the
I think that's a little deep, but
a man could cheat on a woman. Listen to what I'm saying. A man could cheat on a woman and the relationship be over because he cheated. And that nigga, that brother will go home and he'll be crying. He'll be crying about it being over, like you the one that cheated. And when you start to respond to him like a cheater, you block him, you don't want to talk to him because he offended you, he still sees you as the enemy, and he'll hold that closure or he'll hold that acknowledgement, because if I can't have your body, I want your mind. But I can tell you how you can save yourself from seeing somebody else benefit from your hard work.
Don't see it that way.
Work it out.
Jenna, he got to do a long pause because he thinks
Right, because it's just so dramatic, man. Come on.
How you beat me again, man? How you beat me again?
What you said was really good, but you're killing it with these pauses.
Okay. No.
You're putting me in a bad space.
It's a dramatic pause.
Listen, okay.
Say it.
So listen, most men, and this is something.
It better be deep. I better
Yeah,
drown.
he forgot. He already forgot what he was going to say.
I knew what I was going to say.
He said I better drown.
Start blowing up your inflatables now. Listen to this. Most men will do whatever it takes to keep the woman they have. She just don't know it. He will become the man that he is with that other woman. He won't let you know it, and you don't believe it. A man has to work for a woman. They don't throw themselves at men like men do it to women. But literally, he plays a game where it's not hurting his feelings. But when he talk to all his homeboys, the first thing he talking about is, it literally is a strategy. If you could hold off and make him feel like either you don't care or you're not concerned, or you're not concerned, what? That's so funny. Or you're not concerned, if you can create enough pain, and I hate to say this because it sounds like tit for tat, but that's exactly what it is. That movie Two Can Play That Game is a very good depiction of how men think. I encourage women to watch that all the time.
Some men.
Ashley face.
1000%. If you make him feel like he could lose you and he could lose the comfort, A man don't want child support. A man don't want nobody touching his vagina. I don't care how bad he treating
You
you.
did forget what you was gonna say. You did forget what you was
That's
gonna
that's
say.
that's some men. That's not all
But
men.
you, because you started to say, you said he is doing better with her, but you know how you stop caring about it, you stop thinking about it, and then you did a long pause, and you didn't even go back to that. I knew you was
That,
gonna forget what
that,
you was gonna say.
that's
I
that's
knew it.
some men. That's
I
some
think
men.
he said, you know how you can
That's some
keep
men.
them.
No,
Right.
he said how you can keep it from bothering you.
Yeah.
That he's doing better
Oh,
with the other
you're
woman.
absolutely right. That's where I was going.
I know. I knew you was gonna forget whenever, because I know you. That long pause, you over there thinking, what was I going with that?
Ashley just want to slap you
All you
through the
heard was, all
screen.
you heard was birds chirping. Your head was empty. It was empty. It was empty.
This is how you
Ashley just snatched your soul. Go ahead.
this is how you keep
She
it,
snatched it.
this is how you can keep it from bothering you.
Thank you.
There was a story about a man named Dave.
So it
Good night.
Listen, listen. Dave goes to his friend's house. The friend and Dave are talking, and the friend has a dog over, and every 5 or 10 minutes, the dog lets out a sound and goes, wow. So Dave is talking to the friend, and 5 or 10 minutes go by, and the dog says, wow. So Dave says to his friend, he said, what's wrong with your dog? Your dog's making a sound. And Dave says, well, the friend says to Dave, he says, well, the truth is he's laying on an old rusted nail over there. And Dave says, well, why does he just move? And the friend says, it's not hurting him enough yet. Literally, the way that you get over it, you got to remember the pain of who that person was and accept that as your reality. Remember when he would cut his phone off when you weren't around. Remember when whatever it was, remember that. If you remember that, she just told you, most women file for divorce. If you remember the reason you wanted it over, you can get to a level of freedom to whatever he does with whoever he does it with. You realize that would have never been your reality.
the fastest way to get over a man is to get under another.
You better watch your. This is a sanctified hotel room.
Okay, so with that being said, if he's doing better with the next female, and I'm just asking, if he's doing better with the next female, and you realize that, and you
Let it
try
go.
to make it work, or you try to go back, do you think he will keep that same energy that he had with that chick, or he'll revert back to how he was treating you,
He's
He
treating the
was
female?
comfortable with you.
he's gonna revert back. Let me ask you this: you ever been done with somebody for a while? Y'all may not even was married, not even that serious, and he may have been fun, and you link up years later, and you realize no matter what he's got going on when he's in with you, it feel the same.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be the same dude.
He's gonna be the same.
I think
Now I'm not saying that men can't
from
change.
personal experience.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. The change.
Lita.
I mean,
I think Lita said something to me one time, and a couple people say he's too emotional. If there's emotion still involved, he's still there, and I think that helps me to know that you're still emotional, sir. You know, and I think even, and then finding the qualities, or not finding, but discovering the qualities in the new girl that are so similar to me. And it's like, but now you're trying to, so to me, you're just dating another me and trying to make it work this time. Like you've done something in your head that you're dating another me. You're trying to bring this family unit back and do all of this stuff. And I'm like, man, we have so many similarities. And so, and then, and I don't know who watching, but then when your family's on is trying to support it and make people, trying to put it on the cinema like it's a movie, all of y'all miss me. That's how I see it. And that I'm like, and I pray it do work this time. I would love to see us together. Because the new me and you, I would love to see us work. So go ahead and make that work. I'm gonna do my part. Go ahead.
okay, I would just thank you for answering that. Did you want to add to that, ST3?
Well, I was just gonna say that I would take it to this analogy. I mean, the right woman will unlock what another woman couldn't. You know, and
I,
that I think it's the same thing with. I think it's vice versa. The same thing. The right man will unlock something in the woman that the other man couldn't. It's like somebody gave me this analogy, um, from somebody that somebody a friend of mine gave me this analogy. It's like, man, it's like as a kid, you hate to see that you had a toy and you threw it away and somebody playing with your toy better than you could. You know, it's like that. It's like, you know, the right person knows how to play with that toy. They know how to take it, that little toy car that you, oh, this is nothing. And they over here doing all flips and tricks and having it drive all over the place. It's like, wow, that looks so much fun now that they're doing it. But they know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I took that, I was like, wow, okay. And that actually changed me because it's like, all right, well, how can I be a better person? And taking it away from the toy analogy, we take, how can I be a better person now? Obviously, not every woman is gonna be the right woman, but how can I now, whatever woman I'm dating, unlock the parts of her that I can unlock so that she's a better woman in that sense? And then obviously the right woman that comes along will do that for me, you know. So now I go into whatever situation in my dating life and I try to look at it that way. I try to look at it as, okay, you know what? Obviously, there's certain parts of this person I'm not going to be able to unlock because I'm not the right person. But the things that I can unlock, I will unlock those. That person's going to learn. And so even if now we're not together, when the next person comes along who is supposed to be the right person, I've unlocked those things. That person sees it now. It's like, oh man, this is an awesome woman. And now they unlock the part that I couldn't. And now that's his wife, you know? I did my part.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And Swola, you told me it's not that he couldn't do it. You just wasn't the one he wanted to do it with.
Right.
You just said you weren't talking about me, but you were talking about in general. Sometimes the man
Right.
want to do it, and so I can receive that. And I heard a guy say she's because he doesn't believe that uh well, at the time he didn't believe in marriage. So he said she's not mine, she's just mine right now. So while he was with her, he would do what he could with, like, he would enjoy the moment. And then once she was out of his life, it was not, he just will move on to the next and enjoy that woman to the fullest. So
Reason,
some
season,
people do have
lifetime.
that, some people do have that mindset, but yeah, I guess it all depends.
What's the reason, season, reason, season, lifetime? Everybody has a reason in your life. There's people that come in for a season, and there's people that come in for a lifetime. And I think that, we all do it. I've been guilty of doing it too, where it's like, okay, I want to keep this person in my life, but no, this person was here for a reason. They came here to teach me something. They came here to show me something. They came here to unlock a part of me that other people couldn't. The people
Yeah.
that are in my life and for a lifetime, the people that are there for a season, I just was missing, right? And so everybody has a purpose. And that goes back to what I said earlier about purpose. Everybody has a purpose, whether it's a grandiose purpose of leading people to a promised land, or it's just simple as, hey, the way that you treat people is not right. You need to change that about yourself. And you go to the next person, the way you treat people is not right. It's still a purpose. Ain't no purpose in the grand scheme of purposes little than the other. You know, go watch what's the movie Prince of Egypt. What's that song? Look through heaven's eyes. The stone that sits on the very top doesn't think that it's better than the stone at the base. We all have a purpose in this life, whether it's a small, tiny little purpose or a big purpose. So it goes back to the entire point of that person that you were with. You see them be happy for them. You know what I'm saying? Because now this will do now, you're happy for them. Like, you know what? I wasn't the person to do this for them, but I know that I unlocked something in them for now they could be the person to do that. What you'll notice if you do that now, what you're looking for is going to be more receptive instead of being on the fear side of things. I just got out of a coaching. and we talked about acting coaching. We talked about love and fear. We do things out of two things, and I've heard this before. And the fact that I heard this in this scenario was like, man, here it is again. We do things out of love. We do things out of fear. I think the bitterness and being upset and being like, oh man, look, he's doing that for her and she's doing that for him, and that's fear of that we're not deserving of that. But if it's out of love now, it's like, you know what, he didn't do that for me, she didn't do that for me, but she's now this person that I got wasn't like that, but because I came and made an impact in their life, now they are like that. So okay, good. I'm happy for them.
Okay, I like the
What
impact.
happen now is you'll be in a receptive mode, you'll be acting out of love, and when it's time for your time, that person's gonna come and they're gonna unlock something out of you, right? And then that's your time now. Yeah.
Okay, so based off what the two of you, and I appreciate that, the two of you said, what if it's a repetitive, like the woman is continually built? Okay, so she's with someone, it didn't work out. He's better for the next female, so she gets into another relationship, don't work out. He's better for the next female. What does that, is that saying that there's something wrong with the female?
Yes. There's something that there's something that you're not doing the self-reflective work. You got to sit down with yourself, and this goes deep, and it's gonna suck when you go into that self-reflective place, because then you're gonna realize, damn, I really ain't shit. And I'm, excuse my language, but I had to do that too. I had to get to that point where I was like, damn, man, you know what? This whole time I thought I was doing something. I'm like, man, you know what? I really ain't. Damn.
I hate to agree with him.
I don't think it, but because I don't think it would be wrong with something that serious wrong with the female.
Right.
What he said?
If it happens more than 2 times, you have to do self-reflection.
Well, everything is inward. We attract who we are. You attract what you are. You know what I'm saying? So if you attract toxicity,
I want to say this. I don't like the theory that he could have did it, you just didn't bring it out of him. Mm-hmm. I think that puts responsibility on a person that they don't deserve. If someone is loving you genuinely and being what they're supposed to be to you, and you come up short, that's your fault. That's not that person's fault. I don't think they could have unlocked it more. We're not talking about, there's certain things you can bring out of people, don't get me wrong. But when overall, when you realize you had a good person, male or female, and you don't honor it and you take it for granted, that's your fault. You dropped the ball. That's on you. I think secondly, when you say if somebody does it multiple times, they have to self-reflect. I kind of disagree with that, because you are who you are. There's nothing wrong. If you're a builder of men or a builder of women, that's who you are. You picking wrong or attracting wrong, that ain't even your fault. Because a person who builds people, they're going to do that no matter who they're with, and whoever's for them is going to be for them. I do think where the problem is, what we should take responsibility for is what we invest. I think for me, it's being in that situation frequently. And again,
and that's why I said self-reflection is necessary for that. If you're in the same exact situation every time,
you can't stop being who you are, but you can say, you know what?
You can definitely stop being who you are.
All right.
Go ahead.
You can definitely you can do that, because if you were somebody, if you were somebody who was a drug addict, you were somebody who was was an alcoholic, that's who you are. You could definitely change who you are. So I don't agree with that. You could definitely change who you are.
Those are mind altering.
No, it's all the same. It's all relative. You can't just pick and choose how you want to do it. It's all relative.
Yeah, but those things are mind altering. The person you are on drugs and drunk on liquor is not who you are.
Can you change your personality?
Even alcohol.
You can. But what I was going to say was,
they just change their behaviors.
You can manage it. That's what I was going to say, Dr. You can say, okay, now I know me. When I start dating, I run head over heels. I move in with them. We start getting stuff in our name together, and yada, yada, yada. That's who you are. But you can say, you know what? I'm going to manage that. I'm going to allow him or her to earn this. You can manage it, but you can't stop who you are. That may not, that like some women are gung ho buying men gifts right away. You know what I mean? You may not stop the desire. I want to buy him shoes.
Got a
I want to
question for
buy him,
that, Jay.
but you can manage. You can manage and put uh 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 limits and boundaries. There you go.
I
Put
have a
boundaries.
question for that, Jay. I have a
Hold
So
question.
on.
you're not.
Hold on.
What, the
Let him
question?
finish.
The
Let him
question.
finish what he's saying, though. You can still ask the question, but let him finish.
I mean,
Yeah,
y'all don't give me the same respect. So, can I ask?
man, I almost shot you a bird. I'm
We didn't
36
say
years old.
anything when you was talking. We let you finish everything.
Go ahead.
You know, girl,
Go ahead.
no, you
Well,
finish.
my question to that is why are you like that? Have you figured out why you're like jumping in gun ho into just wanting to put things in your names with each other as soon as you get with them, and it's like y'all already together and married? Have you done that? Figured that part
That's
out?
why I said
But
people don't
see
change.
that question though in and of itself, ST3 would have to assume that someone cares about marriage before they do something like that. Those are your personal convictions. Everybody don't honor marriage like that.
Well, I'm asking you why are you? I said why are you like that? Have you asked yourself why are you
I
that
was
way?
talking
That's what I
in
said.
an example general. I wasn't talking about Gerard.
And as I said, people don't change. They just change their behaviors. They change their reactions to things. They then sometimes that stuff changes the way they respond to things. You know, like when somebody repeat like insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different response. So you have to change your behavior. So it does take some. It does. I agreed with you at that point where you said it does take some self-reflection, but essentially you have to change your behaviors.
And the best way not to be hurt by it is you have to lower your expectations. That's the greatest gift that I think we have as humans. It's impossible to be as disappointed when you lower your expectation. You got a dad, a baby daddy that's supposed to come get the kids every week, and every week he lie. He say he come and he don't come. There's one way you can take the power away from you being disappointed on Friday. If that Negro knock on the door, you be legitimately shocked because I wasn't expecting. Literally, you can do that. You can lower your expectations, and once you do that, your level of disappointments will diminish greatly.
And I agree with some people are just builders of men or builders of women. What we can change though is how long we stay in that situation.
Right.
Your behavior. Mm-hmm.
I believe people can definitely change. I mean, I am 100% a different person, and it's based off of how I perceive things. I think you can rewrite the narrative. You don't necessarily have to lower the expectation to not be hurt walking around, like hurt. You can change the narrative within your head. So I think people can definitely change. I don't
But
think
that's still changing your behavior because you're still Lolita. You have not changed. Your DNA hasn't changed.
well my
You changed
DNA
your behavior and your
changed.
mindset.
My
It's
thought process
evolved.
has changed.
Yeah.
So
Your
that
thought process.
has changed.
So you said okay. So y'all saying, and how would you?
I don't know. I'm wondering what's funny too. But go ahead. Oh, sorry.
What you about to say, bro? You wonder
Oh
what?
no, I was wondering what was funny. But go ahead.
Oh, what is funny? ST3.
Well, because obviously the whole conversation was about changing behavior, but now we talking about DNA. We didn't start with DNA. We talked about behavior. So why is that even a point? She said
Because I said
she said
people
you can
don't change.
change.
You can
Obviously,
evolve.
your DNA
You
don't
can
change.
evolve as a person, but you're still the same person. Your thought process can change. Like, right? You can evolve. Your thought process can change. And because of that, your behavior can change. But you're still the same person. You
And I
still have
think
the
things
you
are
still
Well,
just
have the same values, right?
things that we do behaviorally are innate. I don't know anybody that's changed their complete self. You may change certain things you do, but you're not changing your whole entire self unless you're Michael Jackson.
Okay, so I have a question because I'm like relatively new to the question time. So, do we dislike ST3?
yes.
No, it's no.
Yes.
It's not that we dislike ST3. Sometimes his responses can be a little harsh.
That wasn't a fair
Not a
question.
lot of people.
It's not a fair
That
question,
wasn't a
and I'm
fair
kind of
question,
bothered
Lily.
that that question was asked. It's not that I don't think anyone dislikes ST3. I personally, for me,
He just
No.
disagrees sometimes with
it's
him.
not that.
No.
He wants to be.
May
He
I-
wants to do one thing, but not. Go ahead. Fine.
So in every scenario, there's pessimist, optimist, antagonist, and so in this beautiful thing that we have of dialogue and discourse, oftentimes there are different spectrums, and in those spectrums, he's just a minority with some of his thought processes. So it seems like it's a majority versus him, but it's really it is what it is. If culture values things like that puts him at odds with us, but it's not a dislike. It's just a difference of opinions about a wide variety of things.
That's not my answer.
I mean, to the point
My
where
answer
there's literal jabs and disrespectful remarks made, but I don't care.
Have I ever been disrespectful to
So
you?
my thing is
No, not you done. But
that I give disrespectful jabs. Okay, so
what?
my
Oh, good.
is
Do I?
he wants to give he wants people to treat him a certain way, but he doesn't treat others the same way. And I don't think it's a dislike. It's just like, oh, okay, here we go, type of thing.
I think the fact that Tasia laughed at that,
I'll answer too. I don't dislike S3. I think no, I don't just I think some of the stuff that is said, it causes pause. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the whole drop your pants when I come home. I think that sometimes he doesn't. To me, I try to give the benefit of the doubt and then try to go back to it, but he kind of stands firm. And I think some things are offensive to Black women that he said in the past. But I think I laugh with him just as much as I go back and forth with him. I'll shimmy, and I'm here to have a good time. And I'm gonna go back and forth with Gerard or the realist or Chef if he come on. But I just some stuff is just shocking that comes out of his mouth. It really takes me by surprise, some of the stuff that's said. Because I'm like, there's no way you really believe that. And I actually started off that way when he said, with one comment he said, I'm like, you're just saying that just to get a rise out of people. Because I just feel like that's sometimes a thing. But I'm just here to have a good time. I don't dislike anybody on here.
Yeah, I don't dislike anyone either.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's a difference of opinion.
Okay.
Because we go back and forth with Leroy when he on here. Some of the things he say is like, what?
The real question I have for you, Lolita, is: were you asking that because you were going to get on the bandwagon with us?
No, so I was trying to figure out what
Us. Speak for yourself. We us.
treatment that he gets and the eye rolls and like, oh, and Brandy got up and walked away, and
I had to get a charger. My battery's low.
Gerard and ST, y'all last time y'all kind of got into it and y'all kind of mildly getting into it tonight. I'm like, what's going on with this guy? Like, do we dislike him?
No, I'm definitely the queen
So
of
you
the
was
eye
being
roll.
messy.
I'm definitely the queen of the eye roll when he talks.
So you was
trying to get the vibe.
I'm looking off
they
when he
be
talks.
sending little secret text messages to each other off screen.
No, I don't. I
I don't
say
have to send a
A little
secret
group
on
chat.
36.
no.
They make group chat.
I say how I
You
feel.
don't get
And
no my
my,
other text messages either.
and my eyes definitely pop out of my head a lot of times when he talks. I don't turn my screen off. I'm visibly, and I do the same with Gerard. Like, are you really saying this right now? Because I just some stuff is shocking.
Okay.
I don't have a good poker face. So when he says stuff that throw me off, I'll be like,
Yeah, I see.
But I do that face for when Ash says stuff I don't love. That's crazy too.
Yeah, because I say some stuff they don't like. But I think, in all honesty, I think it's hyped up because Gerard will point out, look at all their eyes popped out their head when he was talking. Gerard's narrating, and it makes it seem worse than it is. But no one narrates when I do it for Leroy or other people.
So
I don't even-
Lolita decided to be messy, and Ashley, you just jumped on that train. I just want to make sure this is so. ST3, I'm the problem.
Well, I already knew that.
Yeah.
I already knew
So
that.
this is my fault, actually.
Yeah.
You
You're the ringleader.
You have done nothing wrong. You from
Nope.
the first episode when you got on and said that black people were in their plight because they're not accountable enough, and it's been downhill since then. It is my fault. It is my every
Yeah, you
week
definitely burnt
And
it
see,
with
and
that
that's
one.
what I was trying to figure
from
out.
the
Some of the
very
stuff that
first
he said.
show.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying your opinion is wrong, and I'm going out on a limb here. I've said outside of this platform that his contributions are great for this platform because you can't have everybody agreeing, and you got to have somebody.
Wow, this is like the first time you said that on live.
Yeah, right.
You shouldn't
But
have said that though. We should have kept the discourse going.
right, but
1241.
yeah,
Great
but
review.
I just want to say on the record, I have no problem with ST3. I am pro black brother, brother to brother, Crips to Bloods, whatever. I don't have any problems, but I do show those things. I do narrate his mouth said. I do narrate because it's interesting because when he talks, usually all the women lean in like this at the same time. And
Because
so
we could be waiting for the next like
I
shocking
just
thing to
want
come
to
out his
make
mouth.
you aware that if you're in a, you got to read the room. If you're in a room and 99% of the people are saying something,
Okay, so
you know,
does anybody have anything else to say about some play is better than no play?
I want to end, like, I'm not going to say anything after this, but I think that, like, talking about submission and marriage and bank accounts and all that stuff, it really made me sad. And I kind of feel like silly because I really wanted to get emotional about it. I think that we're so far removed from God's design. And it's like, if you think about this area, you think about the other areas, and then you think about all the things we're missing as a result of it. And it's just so sad to me.
Well, I'm trying to submit to my work husband too, so
Wow.
I'm in.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I would agree to that.
You
with
submit to
Lolita.
your work husband too?
Yeah, I'm gonna submit to my work husband. Yep. No, but I agree.
You said it loud, guys.
I definitely agree with that. I think it's not emotional for me, but it's definitely like it just makes you wonder what direction as a whole entire society we're headed in, especially as just times are just not getting any better for anybody, right? Like it just makes us wonder, like, okay, how far we have strayed away from what is really important, and yeah.
and I just want to say this for the record. Last week was Lolita's entrance, and ST3 was fawning over her, and tonight,
Oh my
by her taking but listen, by her taking up for him tonight, this is what I meant earlier when I said I just want to say this to ST3: don't be led astray into thinking anything. What I said earlier, brother, you're on Mars, she's on Venus. I'm just trying to help you. Don't fall for the trap, bro. Because I can see the way you just. Yeah, I agree with her. And don't fall for it, brother. Just keep hope alive.
Don't keep that.
Well, if I'm gonna keep hope alive, then I'm gonna keep hope alive. Then that's it.
Okay, all right. Okay, brother. Let me get off this bus, brother. This is our stop, brother. Come on now.
Hey, I follow God. That's it.
Hallelujah.
That's it. And you tell me to get off yet.
Okay. You getting ready to send. Okay. All right.
Is some play better than no play? I don't know.
Next week's conversation is I don't even know.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah.
Next
That's how we're ending the night.
Yeah.
is it social media and relationships? No. Is it?
No. I guess I can look real quick fast.
So I'm sorry I didn't call you back earlier today.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
I think it's
Whatever.
our is a man or woman worth fighting for. I think that's the next one.
oh, is a woman. Oh, okay, woman or man
Woman
worth
or
fighting
man
for.
worth fighting for. So Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We'll see you there.
All right.
I
I'm
think
a
we're gonna,
roofer. If anybody need their roof done, residential or commercial, hit me up.
I think we're gonna be a
Or if
firefighter.
you need your house built,
Spin out advertisements.
Or what?
or if you need a house built, or a
Oh.
commercial property built, hit me up. All
A
right,
home
yeah.
builder. Look at that.
All right. Y'all take care.
Good
Good
seeing
night.
you, Lolita. Thanks so much.
See you later.
Gerard, I'm gonna call you.
All right.
Take care.
Well,
If she don't never know how to. Well, that was tonight.
that was tonight. What
Um,
a barn burner. That's why people say when it was good. I don't know.
what?
A barn burner. I don't know.
That sounds like
Back in the day,
vandalism.
so what I understand of this
That
is so
sounds like
crazy
gosh
that we're
darn
explaining this.
vandalism.
So what
We
I
ain't got to explain
understand,
nothing. You
the
don't want to talk
term
about
barn
some barn
burner
burner.
comes from back in the country. If a barn was on fire, it brought the whole city out. So it's a barn. It was good to watch, good for entertainment. Anyway, good night, everybody. Signing off live in Clearwater, St.
This
Pete.
one you can't
Largo.
let other people host your show because they think they the host of your show.
Oh,
You
you're
know
right.
what I'm
Okay,
saying?
no. I was signing off for
Next
me.
week, I appreciate everybody that commented. Tasia, Oscar, I'll have all of y'all names, but Tasia, Oscar, Ebony, and everybody that joined in, stuff Danielle, Lolita, since Fala Ashley. Bless you. I appreciate all of you. So next week, topic of conversation is a man or woman worth fighting for. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Enjoy you. Have a great night.